by On Air Sports Marketing.
Basically saying, if you don't want to coach the Cardinals, we don't want you here.
In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all.
I'll send you guys the link to it in a second when we're done with the segment.
And always online. LearnerandRow.com. Now time for
I'll show you guys
Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports.
You guys are hot.
Kyrie Irving wants out of Brooklyn, and the Cardinals are still looking for their next head coach. Welcome in. It's a Friday. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910 out here at Wright Toyota, and we will be here till 4 o'clock, and we always encourage you to come on down. But if you come on down today, you won't be able to find us because they put us in the janitor's room.
The conference room.
Conference room.
Yeah,
okay.
the back conference room.
Yeah, because where our set is, they're doing some construction around it, so they moved us. So we are here, which is fine. But let's get into what's making some noise today here at 1 o'clock on a Friday.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, the Suns are going to have their work cut out for them tonight as they are in Boston. They're going to hopefully get back in the win column, coming off a 32-point loss to the Hawks on Wednesday night on that footprint. Devin Booker will remain out, but is expected to join the team next week. Phoenix is currently 7th in the West, 27-26. But it looks as though Devin Booker could be back on the court next week. He was not selected as a reserve for the 2023 NBA All-Star Game, which will take place in about 2 weeks on the 19th. And I thought for sure, despite being hurt, he would still maybe be a reserve. But I guess they kind of got to look at it as if he's not playing,
sure,
it's taking somebody else's spot.
Yeah, but anyways, reserve. He's played, I think, well enough to earn at least a reserve spot when you look at all he's done. Being out, I guess, out of sight, out of mind for a lot of folks from that standpoint.
We had this happened like last year, year before, where Devin Booker got the snub, and then all of a sudden somebody got hurt, and he was in there. So I expect that to happen again.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At least showing up, he's probably not going to play. I'm sure he's not going to play just to be there and be acknowledged as one of the
Well, why not?
guys.
If he starts playing next week, it's the 6th, 7th, and the All-Star game's not till the 19th. He'll have 2 weeks under his belt.
Yeah, I know if he starts, key word there, Rock, is if he starts playing next week, works himself back into shape. And I think they're going to have him on a pitch count when they bring him back, maybe 15, 20 minutes at a time. But I don't think the Suns will put him out there in harm's way unless he's completely 110%. And if he can show that he's capable and he's gone 2 or 3 games under his belt, go back, yeah, great. But in the meantime, the Suns will probably say, look, that's great if you get picked as a reserve or somebody falls out. Then you go back there. Just be careful for us as far as that's concerned.
Suns game against the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday has been flexed to TNT as big changes. A lot of it has to do with LeBron James and breaking the record. He's 63 more points to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. Speaking of the Brooklyn Nets, it has come out that Kyrie Irving wants out of Brooklyn. Shocker there, as ESPN and The Athletic are both reporting that he wants a new home. His deal will expire. He's on an expiring deal, I should say. The Suns were one of those teams that he put on his list, if you recall, about a couple of years ago, that he would come here. But he's currently averaging 27 points, 5 assists for a Brooklyn Nets team that are, I think they're 4th in the Eastern Conference, 31-20. Lakers, of course, the team you keep hearing first. Could be a reunion of LeBron James and Kyrie Irving from their days in Cleveland. That could happen. Not sure, because you would have to trade somebody like a Westbrook, and not sure that Westbrook wants to be reunited with Durant.
Well,
that could be a problem.
And Westbrook's doing pretty good coming off the bench. All things considered, he's found his new role, kind of his new home. But what are you going to do? If they trade him, they trade him. KD, what do they say, maybe the next 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks, so he'll probably be back with that knee injury. But Kyrie Irving, it's interesting. I want to be traded. Well, okay, so what's new this year?
He'll get traded.
He'll get traded. So what's the flavor and where? And don't be surprised if James Jones doesn't take a good hard look at that from that particular standpoint, because the guy can add. I mean, he can add to you if that's the kind of route you want to go down, knowing what you're going to get.
Kyrie Irving and Devin Booker?
Be a hell of a combination when you think that CP3, does he last another year after this year? Does he come back? Are we seen the last of CP3 year and moving on? You got to remember that too, Rock.
How many scorers can you have?
Yeah, you can never have enough.
I disagree.
I can never have enough.
You got to have guys that play defense. You got to have guys that can bang. You got to have guys that can rebound.
Well, I see what you're getting at. Is like, okay, do you keep them all happy? Well, if I'm the head coach, if they understand what they're coming into, so when Booker starts playing, you got CP3. If you made the move for Kyrie Irving, does he start? Does he go to 2? How does that work? I think they work it out, but I don't think there's any interest or any salvo for the Suns. Not that they couldn't use them, but I just don't think that shoe fits.
Sun Devils put their 4-game losing streak at a halt as they knocked off Oregon State last night in Tempe, 68-57. Desmond Cambridge Jr., he paced the team with 18 points while knocking down 3 shots beyond the arc. So they've improved to 16-7, 7-5 in the Pac-12. They will host Oregon on Saturday night tomorrow. And U of A picked up their 5th in a row as they took care of Oregon 91-76, a 15-point win, which the wise guys, our underdog picks yesterday.
Yeah.
Myself and Jimmy both took the under at 15.5. So we would have won that. But it's so damn close.
The hook, Rock, the hook.
Oh, man.
You know, you watching some of that ASU game last night. It's fun to see them hitting their shots, hitting the alley-oops, getting out on the break, and playing, I guess you call it Sun Devil basketball, going up and down the court. So when they're in tempo and they're hitting their shots, it just frees them up as they get up and down the court. But it's fun watching that team when they're in sync, you know, especially with the alley-oops. It must be at least, was it 4 or 5 in watching that game last night.
They do a lot of that.
So taking care of business against Oregon State, so hopefully Saturday against Oregon, they can do the same thing.
Grand Canyon will host Stephen F. Austin tomorrow in some WAC action. The Lopes have lost 2 of their last 3, and they're 14-8. GCU fell to the Lumberjacks by 5 the first time these guys played. Lumberjacks being Stephen F. Austin. Cardinals search for a head coach. Brian Flores interviewing for the defensive coordinator job in Denver. That's kind of a head scratcher.
Well,
if he was going to be someone that was in the running, I think that just tells you right now he's not in the running for the Arizona
Well,
team.
he's not going to wait around either for the Cardinals to make a decision. He's been there where he's interviewed twice. He's probably thinking, look, if y'all are going to drag your feet, and I got an opportunity to go with Sean Payton, go to Denver, and go work with that defense and that defensive back group, then they pay him probably $1.5 million to $2 million as a coordinator, or maybe more than that. It makes it worth his while. Why not? I mean, you can't wait on the Cardinals. I mean, it's like, hey, guys, I would love to be your head coach, but at some point, I've got these other opportunities, and he doesn't want to miss on an opportunity. I don't blame him whatsoever.
In the narrative now over the last 24 hours is the reason why they have not been able to find a coach is because of Kyler Murray. Pro Football Network yesterday reported it. AZ Central today. I think Jody was all over it yesterday morning. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you have a quarterback, your franchise quarterback may return October. We don't know. No one knows.
I see a couple things here, and we all realize this is the white elephant in the room, Rock. It's nothing new to us. Is that, number one, you mentioned the injury. Is he coming back October or November? That's number one for a head coach to go, damn, if that happens, I'm going to have to get a mulligan this first year. And the second thing is the history around him, the antics, all the other stuff as far as him in the locker room. And then on top of that, just him being a pro quarterback in the system that coach wants.
Can I add one to that?
Yeah.
That you are basically tied to him for the next 4 years.
Exactly.
No matter what.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of us would argue he's not that good.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's
or he hasn't been coached up to be where he could be with the potential.
That's
the key thing.
Yeah.
The 5-year contract, so you have a good 4 years with this young man.
You're tied to the hip.
You're tied to the hip, whether you like it or not. Here's the deal. So you got to know that going in. So if you're a guy that's a coordinator or a guy that was a former head coach, you're looking at not only the manager, the GM, looking at the owner who's Mr. Medley himself, meddling Michael Bidwell. You got that because you're going to do your homework on Michael Bidwell. Austin Fort's going to be the same way. So you got a lot of minutia, Rock. That just when you pick this job, you better go in with your eyes wide open and ready to go, and knowing what you have. And then I'd have a game plan how I deal with every one of those assets, on top of picking my staff, on top of who my draft choices are going to be, and on top of working with my general manager to make sure the model I've come from and the model I have, that I can mold this piece of clay that's the Arizona Cardinals into a format that I have success. I mean, why would you take this job if you're a former head coach unless you feel you pretty good about turning this thing around?
Real quick, one last note as we finish up our headlines, brought to you by the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book that is now open there in Casino, Arizona. It looks like Texas and Oklahoma will not be leaving the Big 12 a year earlier for the SEC. According to ESPN, both UT and OU are staying in the conference until 2025 because they were unable to reach a deal to get an early exit. So now the reports say the sides could not agree on how to create a equitable value for the games that Fox will lose if the teams left for the SEC in 2024.
So you're saying Texas and OU can't come out and go to the bank and cut a check to make up those equitable finances to leave the Big 12 early, Rock?
They'll be fine. They'll be okay.
You knew exactly. They're going, what is it, $5 million? But you were saying $3 million, but now you're saying $5 million because Fox's money and contract. Yeah, guys, if you want to leave 2 years early, here's the amount of money that you need to give us. Oh, I don't know, tomorrow.
Do you think it's too late for them to pull out after the dominant SEC play we've seen the last couple of years? If I'm Oklahoma or Texas,
Well,
I don't know. I'm a little nervous.
But I think
they're committed.
Texas and Oklahoma are going to get back to their domination.
They will. I mean, it's just, hey, once they make that commitment,
they got more money than most schools, so they can afford to pay these kids.
And they'll get more exposure in the long run in the SEC with their TV contract. And it's the SEC. You got the Big 12, but I mean, they're front and center. It's the SEC and then the rest of them.
Hey, you got 10 more days if you are interested in winning this patio grill yard. We've been talking about all football season. It's a customized backyard grill patio set courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. And you can enter every day. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS to 55678. You can enter once a day. That's PEAKS to 55678. Standard message and data rates apply. Coming up, don't call Super Bowl 57 the Kelsey Bowl. You will hear from the two brothers next. And would you be in favor of their mom doing the coin flip for the Super Bowl? It's our Valley Chevy dealers. Top sounds next with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
Six-time Pro Bowl quarterback Donovan McNabb joins Jody Ayler every week on The Drive to talk the biggest stories from the NFL. Tuesday at 8:33 on Fox Sports 910. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
The football postseason is here, and you can still win Twin Peaks Man Cards just by playing Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's weekly Fan Pick'em contest. Head to fanpick'em.com and get in your weekly picks for your chance at weekly Man Cards. Thanks to Twin Peaks, Coors Light, and Blue Moon. Don't forget to stop by one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations to watch all the playoff action.
Tune in weekdays 1 to 4 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for your chance to call in and give your prediction for the big game. Guess the score right and win the Talking Stick Resort Getaway Weekend valued at over $1,500. That's weekdays 1 to 4 right here on Fox Sports 910.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox.
Hey kids, let's go.
Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead, wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Get ready for the nothing but net action of college basketball on AZTV Channel 7. Every Monday and Saturday, we take you courtside for both men's and women's college hoops. AZTV Channel 7. Check out the schedule at aztv.com.
In a world full of rewards programs, there's never been one quite as fantastic as MGM Rewards. As an MGM Rewards member, dine, stay, play, and earn on what you love. Have the meal of a lifetime. Cheer on your favorite team. See a show that blows your mind. Stay in a baller suite. Shop till you drop. spa. Make the spa your second home, or just find a nice loud corner for some bottle service. With MGM Rewards, unlock the best of Las Vegas. Visit MGMRewards.com for more details. Subject to earning redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never really thought about tools until I bought a house in the suburbs. It's like this weird homeowner test if I need a tool for a project and don't have it. And my neighbor Ted loves to give me that look when I ask to borrow a pole saw. A year ago, I didn't even know pole saws existed. And now I gotta borrow one from Ted? What is happening?
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
Meant for mornings. The Drive with Jody Ayler.
All right, you guys are hot.
To 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, we've teamed up with Talking Stick Resort, which is over there at Talking Stick Resort or Indian Bend and the 101. We are going to be there for the big game viewing party. Myself, Manuch, Jimmy B, as well as intern Barney and intern Bob. We will be there. Doors open at 2. You get tickets at Ticketmaster, $25 now, $35 at the door. We have 2 special guests that are going to join us in person. We're going to do some Q&A before the Super Bowl, and we're pretty excited about Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie is going to actually join us at 3 o'clock today, so looking forward to catching up with him. We also got Bryce Perkins talking quarterbacks, as he will join us, the backup quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock. So we have a lot of guests throughout the afternoon, and they're going to be giving us their prediction for the big game. And what that means is you give the score and the team that's going to win. If you get it right, you nail it, you're going to get yourself a 2-night stay at Talking Stick Resort, dinner for 2 at Tosh, dinner for 2 at Orange Sky, and a spa treatment. How about that? It's valued at over $1,500. So we have 2 of these getaway weekends. One for our celebrities like Doug Flutie and Bryce Perkins, who will give us his picks coming up in our show today. And we actually have one for you, the listener. And if you would like to get in right now and give your selection, we'll take it off the air, 602-260-9191. That's 602-260-9191. Ben will get your score. We've been doing this all week, and we're going to do it all next week. So we're going to get it all filled out. And you'll have an opportunity to win. So it's that easy. 602-260-9190. We'll take the first 4 callers. Ben will get you all set up. Again, that's the Talking Stick Resort Big Game Challenge, and your chance is right now. Looking forward to that. As I mentioned, going to break, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Travis, of course, Chiefs. Jason, Eagles. They're about to become the first brothers to play each other in a Super Bowl. And they have a podcast that's pretty cool. I'm not a huge podcast guy, but because Kelce and those guys have such big personalities, I tend to kind of just peek in once in a while, kind of like a Pat McAfee, which does a really good job. But there are a lot of people calling it the Kelce Bowl because of these two. Mm-hmm. So yesterday on their podcast, they talked about their honest thoughts about this being called the Kelce Bowl.
If you guys know this, but there's 2 brothers playing in the Super Bowl, and it's Jason and Travis Kelce.
If the world hasn't force-fed you this shit already.
We're officially the first brothers to play in a Super Bowl against one another. What are the chances that 2 guys go to the NFL, they realize their dream of playing in the NFL, then they become starters, then they become all pros and important pieces of their team.
We're fortunate enough to be on that good of teams.
And then they end up playing each other in a Super Bowl. It's got to be something like a lottery pick probability, right?
Damn.
Like, should we have been playing the lottery? Were we playing the lottery this whole time? Did we just win the Mega 8?
I think whoever wins the game wins the Mega 8.
Oh, it's not enough to play against each other. You got to win against the other one.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
For it to line up like it has been this year, specifically Pro Bowl, All Pros, this podcast.
Yep.
For it to all align like it has, it's mind-boggling, man.
I kind of don't like that we're calling it the Kelce Bowl.
Please.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Let's get back to Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys involved with this. There's major organizations involved. There's unbelievable storylines in this Super Bowl.
Yep.
Obviously, there's us, but there's also Andy Reid. I don't know if you know this. Nick Sirianni used to coach with the Chiefs.
Yep, I saw that.
There's tons of storylines here.
A.J. Brown, Willie Gay Jr.
Yeah.
Played high school ball together. Appreciate you guys calling it the Kelsey.
5 seconds.
Let's focus on the Chiefs Eagles, man.
We'll still call it the Kelsey.
That's their podcast, New Heights. Now, this is kind of a brilliant idea. Someone started a petition on change.org to get their mom, Donna Kelsey, to do the coin toss. Their goal was 35,000 signatures. Right now, I just refreshed, and they're about 39,000.
Wow.
And the idea is to have her be out there and actually do the coin flip. Are you for or against Donna Kelsey doing the coin
I'd
flip?
love to see it. Because she wears a split jersey. She got the Eagles and Chiefs jersey, if you've seen that. I think it'd be great, refreshing. Okay, a mother. We'll probably never, ever, maybe not see this ever again, to see two brothers playing a Super Bowl. I mean, maybe play in the league, but not play each other in a Super Bowl. Why not? Put her in there as the you could do she's the honorary coin flipper, honorary captain. You could get one former NFL guy, one of the Hall of Famers or retired guys, and she could come out and be the honorary captain with him and have her flip the coin and have the two boys out there. All right, who's the visitor? The visitor is Kansas City, and the home team is the Eagles. All right, Travis, you get to call it. And all right, heads. And what do you? And then go to Jason. Okay, defer or not? That'd be perfect. Be great theater.
It would be really good.
That'd be cool.
It would be. I think people would enjoy that. Hey, our top sound of yesterday is brought to you by the Valley Chevy Dealers. Your Valley Chevy dealer serving the Valley for over 80 years. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. Head to valleychevydealer.com. LeBron James is 63 points away from passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for first place on the NBA's all-time scoring list. He had 26 last night in their win over Indiana. He'll likely break it next week unless he scores 63 tomorrow against New Orleans.
Sure, and it could happen. You never know.
Tickets for Tuesday night's game against the Thunder are going for some huge cash. A pair of courtside seats are being sold, or at least listed, on Ticketmaster for $200,000.
No way, Rock. No. What?
Whoever posted that,
it's got to be a misprint.
Had to put a flyer on it. Yeah. No, $200,000.
I wouldn't pay $20,000 if I had the money.
Yeah, just watch it on TV at that point.
Oh my gosh,
$200,000.
I was thinking maybe $10,000, something like that. But $200,000 to watch LeBron break the record. Number one, you better be a huge LeBron fan or an NBA fan, or you got so much silly, stupid money you don't know what to do with it, and you just travel around and go to games. $200,000 for that? Hell, I think of all the a lot of the things that could be helped with a lot of charities for $200,000. Spend your money more wisely.
I just don't. I can't imagine that. I mean, it's just, why would anybody spend that kind of money just to see some guy break a record? Like I'm not saying that it would ever get broken again, but I think when Kareem when he set his number, someone said, "Oh, no one's ever going to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record."
Well, that's true. That's true too. But I mean, LeBron.
I'm on Ticketmaster right now, and there's tickets to get in the house there at Smoothie King Center for $47. Why? I mean,
why $200,000 in the front row versus 47 in the
3 minutes
seats?
And I've seen other like midsection going for about $2,500.
Well, if you're paying that price and you say that digital ticket or whatever that they're going to have, and you live for another 50 years and it's not even close to being broken, you can say, "Hey, look, I was there." Well, 50 years from now, so was it worth it? $200,000 to watch.
That's also an issue I have. Is I understand our world with the cell phone and getting in and mobile access, but who didn't save your ticket stubs? Mm-hmm. Your first concert, mine, Scorpions, Bon Jovi. Yep. I still have it.
Yep.
Every Super Bowl I've been to, I still have it. Now it's they don't even.
Yeah. Well, you gotta save it.
Yeah, you gotta take a screenshot.
You gotta download it, put it there, and say, "Here we go." Hell, I still have my first baseball ticket, first Major League Baseball game. We went over to San Diego, watched the Cincinnati Reds, the Red Machine, the Big Red Machine.
2 minutes
with Johnny Bench playing the Padres. I don't even know who their top player was over in San Diego.
Dude, you're right. That's got to be a typo.
Yeah, it's got to be $20,000.
But it's from Associated Press. I mean, I have it right in front of me.
Well, the Pelicans game you're looking at is on Saturday, so they might
Oh, am I looking at the wrong game?
It might be for the Tuesday or Thursday.
Oh, no, it was Tuesday. Oh, so you should have caught me. So you should have told me that. So I pulled up the wrong game.
I just looked at your computer just now.
Yeah, I was looking at it because that's the first game. Yeah, let me look at that. All right, $285 is just to get in. Is so far the cheapest I can see here for the Thunder. But that's in LA though.
Right.
So I mean, people are going to spend a little bit more money there.
Well, I could see if they pay him up close to $2 or $3 grand,
and it might go
to
up.
That effect.
It might go up depending on what he scores tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then they'll be like, okay, if he scores 30 tomorrow, he's got to score 30 again. He could do it against the Thunder, or is he going to do it against the Bucks?
AP's got that wrong. I'm seeing 19,000. I'm seeing 20,000.
Yeah,
I wonder if maybe a suite. Maybe buy a suite for $200 grand. I know a suite for the Super Bowl is $1 million.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh man. Well,
$1 million.
You better be able to write that off as a corporation.
100,000.
Woman.
Why? How do you make that?
So 63 gets. You're right. If he gets 30, then he's 33 the next game. He can attain that. And I will. They'll make sure he attains it. They'll be feeding him the ball. He'll be going off.
So again, I hope you can join us. The big viewing party. Special guests Bo Jackson, Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie will join us at 3:00. We will be doing the show in the ballroom. We can seat about 1,200 people. We'll be doing our squares like we do on Monday night, our props like we do on Monday night, our kickoff jackpot like we do on Monday night, $25 squares, $100 props, cash, $1 a yard for every kickoff, and we're going to start that little jackpot at $4,000. Tickets are $25 in advance, $35 at the door. It will sell out, so I recommend you get your tickets now. If you can't make it to Talking Stick, you can join Bauer, Gross, and Jax. Will be hosting the same party without cover in the showroom at Casino Arizona. It's all free. Same thing. Quarter, squares, props, kickoff jackpot, jerseys, the whole 9 yards. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's the big game viewing parties at both Talking Stick Resort and Casino Arizona. We're going to go unfiltered, uncensored. We'll get his pick for the big game as well as Sean Salisbury joins us next to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910 from Wright Toyota.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
It's a 5-game road trip that begins tonight for the Suns when they meet the Celtics in Boston. Devin Booker is with the team, and he was seen doing some dribbling during the morning shoot-around. He's expected back at some point during this 5-game stretch, perhaps early next week. Kyrie Irving has told the Nets he wants to be traded by next Thursday's deadline. NFL insider Ian Rappaport joined Jody on the drive this morning. He said among the candidates who have interviewed with the Cardinals already, Aaron Glenn, the Lions defensive coordinator, may be one that gets a second look. It's NHL All-Star Weekend, the skills competition tonight in Florida. The Yotes Clayton Keller in the pitch and puck event. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Attention grillers. Is it time to replace that old grill in your backyard? Need to step up your game? Your chance to win a new one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS 55678. And you will be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter once a day. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 55678.
Time to get in on real estate investments. GC Global Capital has financing with no income verification. Call 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License NB0924983. An equal opportunity employer.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 120,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. And during that time, we've donated millions of dollars to Arizona charities. Our goal is not only to make a positive impact on our clients' lives, but also the lives of many Arizona residents that rely on nonprofits to get through their tough times. Lerner Rowe is more than just a law firm. We're a community partner dedicated to make Arizona a better place for everyone.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Bo knows where to watch the big game. Talking Stick Resort. Join Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they host the big game viewing party with special guests Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Get your tickets now, just $25 at Ticketmaster.com. It's the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort.
NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and Existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you'll get a free bet back. Download the app now and use code 910. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code 910. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus issued as free bets. Opt-in required. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Are you facing foreclosure? Then come down to Megalo and Partners. We're a mortgage rescue company, and we can help you keep your house, provided you submit to our plans for galactic domination. No, I'm kidding.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all
Yeah,
the
1
things
second.
we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by...
I have no idea how Blaze got a spot.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available.
All right, guys, here we go.
Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
A former NFL QB turned radio host. Sean Salisbury goes unfiltered with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
And here we get to have the opportunity to play a great team in the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and it should be really something. I mean, that's should be a great.
You guys are hot.
And,
10 seconds.
Two good football teams playing each other. You don't get to this point unless you're a good team. So proud of our guys, proud of the organization for the job that everybody did. And
that's Andy Reid talking about his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, as they get ready for Super Bowl 57. As we'll be really busy next week. Start Radio Row on Monday, each day 1 to 4. So tune in all week. Some great guests. A reminder: we got Doug Flutie coming to join. Is going to join us here in about an hour and a half, as well as Bryce Perkins, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. But joining us now, it's Quarterback Friday.
Damn right.
Sean Salisbury joins us down on the right side of the guest side. How are we doing, Sean?
Damn Skippy, huh, Sean?
I'm good, gentlemen. What's happening? What's up?
So you guys in Houston, third coach in 3 years. Something I always have fun with here with the Cardinals is same old Cardinals. You know, it's just no one can figure them out. And I'm wondering for the base, the fan base there, what is different this time around with Ryans as the head coach?
Well, this fan base here wanted him more than they wanted Sean Payton. And Payton obviously is a Super Bowl winner. He's as D'Amico and a former player here, but the boxes he checks are not like, well, it's temporary box. They're permanent. This guy is checks off the boxes of one, wherever he's been, whether it's an assistant or now a head coach, as a player, a teammate. He is he makes everybody around him better. And that, to me, is one of the top traits you got to have. And I'm not just talking about the players on the field. Coaches. They'll live up to a standard. There will be accountability that I don't think there's been much of it here for a while. And Bill O'Brien was a good X's and O's guy, but Bill O'Brien got way too power hungry that got in the way and skewed him being the coach that they brought here in the first place. And he's a phenomenal leader. And I believe leadership, you can improve it by reading books and I know I do all the time trying to say, can I find one extra caveat in the book that I'm reading about leadership? But when you walk into a room, it's DNA, man. You either got it and the room engages with you and you're magnetic or you're not without having to try and force it. And that's him. And the difference is David Culley had never been interviewed for a head coaching job. He's a lifetime assistant and a good man, but a lifetime assistant, and was in over his head on Sunday as head coach. Lovie Smith's defense was archaic. They didn't get better. And both of these guys, you knew, and I like Lovie too, had great success, but you knew going in that neither one they'd have been lucky and they would have crawled 10 miles over broken glass to get to 3 years.
Sure.
And when you don't improve, you've got to change things. This is different because this guy's better than both of them. He commands respect and leader. I mean, and you can command respect. Age doesn't bother me. I don't care if you're 25 or 70, but you've got to be able to make people better, the coordinators, the coaches. This was stale last year, as much as I like Lovie. You had to get rid of both after 1 year. Doesn't matter what the roster looks like. The roster needed to get better when they say, well, you got to give him 2 or 3 years. You give a guy 2 or 3 years that you know will turn it around, not one that you pretty sure isn't going to turn it around. And the decisions they made. This guy will hire good coaches, hold him accountable. He's done everything you need to do, X's and O's, Y as an assistant. Now, there's no guarantee, obviously. But if there's an assistant coach that is close to a guarantee of at least giving you a legitimate chance to get better and win, this guy's it. And this city is more excited than they've been at any time since I've lived here, I'm talking about football-wise, other than when Watson came off the bench in the first half of the second half of the first game. Since then, and I'm not even sure there was as much enthusiasm for him as there is for this guy. This city loves him.
Sean, when you look at the coaching hires, and I just saw, and you talk about fits. So D'Amico Ryans fits Houston. You look at Carolina, Frank Reich, he fits. Denver, Sean Payton, he fits. Now you got the Cardinals and Colts, and all the minutia that surrounds the Cardinals, and all the minutia that surrounds the Colts. Look at Kyler Murray. Colts really don't even have a quarterback per se. What kind of coach do you feel is going to fit, or will they try to put a square peg in a round hole to try to make that happen?
Yeah, you know what, Manuch, you mentioned minutia that surrounds the team and all the red tape and nonsense.
Yes.
We dealt with that here, and I know Arizona has too. But we've dealt with that here. So you know how you fix it? You get rid of the fat. And as Chuck Knox, as you know, Chuck and I, Chuck had a saying, he called it GIGO, G-I-G-O, garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
That when you constantly suck in garbage and take in garbage, whether it's on the field or in the locker room or wherever, the only thing you can spit out is garbage. And so we've been through it. The way you stop it is you start to eliminate that. And then you get a head coach that's not going to tolerate garbage. And I'm not talking about garbage players. Everybody's a good player, some better than others. Just the garbage, the toxicity, the guy who doesn't, when everybody else wears a white shirt, he wears a blue one. The guy who just, it sucks the life and the energy out of the building. So that's how you get rid of it. And unfortunately, in Arizona, while he's a talented guy, the guy who sucked the life out of the building so far the last couple of years in Arizona has been Kyler Murray. And if your highest paid, supposed best player, or at least that's what they anticipated, is sucking the life and energy out of the building, then you better bring in a guy who says enough's enough, and you better hire a guy for the general manager and the ownership that says, you get to make these decisions. Now, with this contract, you're going to say, well, and with the way the obviously talk about his preparation, the fact that we're still having
3
this
minutes
conversation is alarming to me with a $200 million quarterback. If he doesn't prepare, he's never going to dominate or sustain success. He'll make plays once in a while because he's a hell of a talent, but the coach who comes in, he can't be an ass kisser to the quarterback. He has got to go the opposite. He has got to challenge him, and he's got to make him better, which Sean Payton will do to Russ Wilson. But they're different. Russ had a bad year, but Russ is still a pro. Kyler Murray has yet to prove that he's a pro, and when former teammates talk like they talk and the organization has to put a clause in his contract and then take it out, it tells me that their best player, or the guy that's supposed to be, is on the food chain comes to leadership. He's not anywhere near the top. That's not a good thing. So I don't know who it's going to be, but if they hire a yes man, that they will set that franchise back 10 years.
He's Sean Salisbury here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. All right, Sean, I know we still have a week to go, but we want to give you an opportunity to get in before everybody else. We're doing it's called the Talking Stick Resort Big Game Challenge. You give us the score. Yep. You give us the score and the winner, and if you win, you get a 2-night stay at Talking Stick Resort. You get dinner for 2 at Orange Sky, dinner for 2 at Tosh, and a spa certificate for you and your whoever. And over probably $2,000 in value. I know you love coming out here. I think you wouldn't mind staying at Talking Stick Resort for the weekend. So, with that being said, what do you got for the game?
Winner and score there.
Winner and score.
I actually think the most complete team in the league all year long has been Philadelphia. But I'm an Andy Reid fanatic. I love the way the coaching staff. I think the 2 advantages come down to this. Even though Shane Steichen and Sirianni and Jonathan, their coaching staff Gannon has done a phenomenal job. Offensively, I think Andy Reid's the best play caller in the sport.
Okay.
I'm going with the Chiefs. I think it is a 30-20. I got to pick the exact score. Let's go 30-24 Chiefs.
Okay.
And Reid and Mahomes is the difference. And keep an eye on a sneaky one, and that's Pacheco, the running back. Physical. This team likes to tee off on the quarterback. You may get some gashing runs because they're so concerned about Mahomes. Mahomes will win the MVP if they win. And I still don't know how you have an answer for Kelsey. Nobody has, and he can offset a pass rush or get the ball out. Andy Reid, Chiefs, 30-24.
Okay.
Sean, let me take you back a few years. The 1969 Super Bowl, guy named Joe Willie Namath against the vaunted Baltimore Colts. That spread was 16, but it's time. Here comes the Eagles. They're healthy. They're dominant. Here's the banged up Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of folks aren't giving it a chance, but they had a guy named Joe Willie Namath in New York, and the Chiefs got a name of Patrick Mahomes. Any similarities there whatsoever as I jog your memory?
Well, one thing. Well, Joe could talk it a little bit better. Patrick's not the one who's going to come out and guarantee this victory or that. Joe, he guaranteed it and had those guys buying in, and it was phenomenal. And I love Broadway Joe all-timer.
Sure.
I did everything I did uniform-wise was Broadway Joe. I'll tell you the similarities when you watch him on tape. The ball comes up and out, and while Joe was extra special in the pocket, Mahomes goes from the pocket and extends those plays extra special off schedule. The similarities on being able to throw it are awesome. The way they approach it's a little different, but both can be successful.
That's outstanding. Sean, have yourself a great weekend. I'm sure you got the cigar, you got the tequila all ready to watch some Pro Bowl action, huh?
You got the first part right. I didn't watch the Pro Bowl when I covered it. There you go.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, buddy. That's great.
All right, guys. Talk to you. Thanks.
Sean Salisbury joining us here on the Right to It Guest Line. He's driven by All City Towing as they continue to hire. Go to allcitytowing.com as they have immediate full-time positions available, incredible benefits, a 401k program with a generous company match, and the fastest way to apply is online. Allcitytowing.com, search careers. We're going to take you back next as we will dive into some of the stories that hit over the course of the last 100 years, so to speak. Rams backup quarterback, Chandler High great Bryce Perkins is going to join us in less than 15 minutes. Vegas handicapper Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com in 25 minutes. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Wright Toyota.
This is The Herd.
Attention listeners.
With Colin Cowherd.
I've been a sportscaster for over 30 years, and I don't remember in 30 years a team losing a close playoff game and not blaming the refs. So Kansas City's better than Cincinnati, and I thought Cincinnati would win. But Kansas City's quarterback played better than the other team.
This is The Herd. Monday at 10. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Attention grillers. Is it time to replace that old grill in your backyard? Need to step up game? Your chance to win a new one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS 5678, and you will be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter once a day. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 55678.
Shopping for a mortgage? Big banks can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees, more options, and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker, NMLS 1091187, license MB 0924983, and equal opportunity lender.
Right Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Tune in weekdays 1 to 4 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for your chance to call in and give your prediction for the big game. Guess the score right and win the Talking Stick Resort Getaway Weekend valued at over $1,500. That's weekdays 1 to 4 right here on Fox Sports 910.
Duke Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell. 12 pool tables and 3 shuffleboard tables.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Coldest draft beer in town.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 patios right on the Greenbelt. 1 non-smoking.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
More than 60 TVs playing your favorite sports.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Saturdays and Sundays, build your own Bloody Mary bar.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Where? Duke's! Where? Duke's! Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
Chris, this needs to go to Parkville by 3.
Joy to the holiday packages that keep coming at Jimenez Couriers.
It's coming your way, but the drop-off location is changed.
Hey, Rock, at the end of this segment, I'll have you cut her new tees.
Of punctuality.
Anyone looking to pick up some overtime? Anyone?
Indeed can help her hire great
You sound like
people
Jimmy
fast.
there.
I need Indeed.
What's up?
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates who...
Oh, no, I just said after this segment, I'll have you cut her new tees real quick.
Indeed.com/credit and get...
But you sounded like Jimmy saying, yeah.
Sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1.
You guys are hot. 5 seconds.
At the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Yes. No Jimmy today, so we got to get a couple yeses in.
Love the enthusiasm. Yeah, sure.
Back on this day 30 years ago, 1993, Marge Schott was suspended as the Cincinnati Reds owner for 1 year for repeatedly using racial and ethnic slurs. The suspension was lifted, though, after 8 months.
She must have did some kind of penalty, community service. Wrote a check, make sure she went to the local parks, picked up all the dog poop that's out there, all kinds of stuff like that.
25 years ago, Brian Cashman was named the general manager of the New York Yankees. He was responsible for building teams that have won 6 American League pennants and 4 World Series.
He was like 25, 26 at the time, one of the youngest ever. And you're like, wow, this young man, you can almost say kid, just had it dialed in, just nailed it.
21 years ago, 2002, the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. They beat the Rams 20-17. That was Super Bowl 36. It was the first Super Bowl after 9/11. And George W. Bush did the coin toss. U2 did the halftime show. Mariah Carey sang the national anthem. And 10 years ago, 2013 Super Bowl 47, Destiny's Child and Beyonce. That was the halftime show. Alicia Keys sang the national anthem as the Ravens beat the 49ers 34-31.
NFL Network's got all the replays going on. As a matter of fact, I saw last night that Patriots and the Patriots and Rams come back, and there's John Madden going, well, I think they're backed up like on the 10-yard line. So he's like, well, they'll just play for overtime here. So get a little short pass, and J.R. Redmond, former ASU running back, got the first 2 or 3 passes also at the 40-45. There's John Madden. Hey, I like this drive. I like the way it is. After him telling him just play for the tie. Couple throws later to get in Vinatieri's range. game, set, match.
NFL came out today with their official number of concussions during the regular season. What do you guys think?
Official?
The official.
The actual report?
I had to say official. Exactly. Yes, that's why it's official.
What do you think, Jax? Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
You look at my computer, did you, Jax?
No, I didn't.
All right.
I'm going to go.
It's official now.
I'm going to go 200.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say officially 325.
149. And that's a jump of 18% from last year.
Okay.
The most scrutinized case has to be the 2-out one.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I would have guessed that.
You had two of those, right? I mean, that would have been it.
But the key, I'm glad you said official, because there's guys that got dinged. I'm sure they didn't say anything. I mean, you get hit, you get popped, you see stars. You're like, I'm not coming out. I'm not telling anybody anything unless you get up like 2 out and you're a little woozy and you can't stand up.
Did you pop in at all, watch any of this early NFL Pro Bowl stuff?
I saw the guys at the desk, and that's about it. Yeah, all the skills and this
skill-based competition,
yeah.
the flag football game, which will take place on Sunday. I mean, Peyton and Eli, that's pretty cool as they're going to serve coaches for it. And they're going to play kick-tack-toe. They're going to do the gridiron gauntlet and move the chains on Sunday. And then the final round of the best catch competition will also take place on Sunday.
It's more interesting than watching a Pro Bowl.
I agree.
I'll say that.
I thought the longest drive competition was funny because some of those guys have never golfed before. And Zadarius Smith had his hands the wrong way and just cranked a 275-yard drive.
Did he really hit back?
Wrong way. Happy Gilmore did on his last attempt. Yeah, like stuff like that was cool, but some events were a little too corny, kind of Disney-like.
Well, the kickball one, and then the dodgeball, and all that kind of stuff. The guys were up there, laughing. But I if it was more football-related skill sets, that's what I thought it was going to be. But it was all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't want to watch dodgeball or kickball or how far hit a golf ball. That's like what was it back in the day, Rock? They had with all the different players. The stars and
on
Jackson
or
Pros versus Joes.
Yeah,
it was kind of like that. It was, but they compete against each other from running, golf. There's all kinds of things that they did, and it's like the All Stars. But they'd had guys from every sport when they could play. And Joe Theismann was like, this phenomenal athlete. They do basketball shooting or running and all this obstacle course stuff. That was kind of fun to watch, but that's what I thought this was going to be more like. I saw the other stuff. I'm like, nah, not interested.
Amazon finished off the year touting their impact on NFL viewership as they posted net sales, not gross, net sales for fourth quarter, $149.2 billion. Net.
Wow. That's probably 300 billion gross.
And they attribute a lot of it is Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
They had an audience about 11, 12,000. And they were real happy they're getting that 18 to 34 demographic. That rose about 11%. Overall, when you look at their full year net sales grew 9% to $514 billion.
New leader in the clubhouse, no longer Walmart. Just went right by him, didn't they?
Well, at least Walmart guys know how to get the right coach, right?
Yeah, that's true. And he might get the right defensive coordinators.
Last sports business news, we're going to start seeing more logoed like patches on uniform sleeves in baseball. Diamondbacks were one of the first teams to strike a patch deal with Avnet. The Cincinnati Reds, they did a deal with Kroger, which is like our Fry's, same company. They're getting $5 million for that. So this will be the first season that Major League Baseball teams are permitted to sell jersey patch sponsors.
Never thought we'd see the day, Rock. Remember we talked about that about 5 years ago?
I did.
You were all for it. I'm like,
absolutely.
No. Where's the tradition, man? Where's all these patches? And all of a sudden the Suns got it, and then the Mercury had it. And now
sports sponsorships work. I mean,
well, sure.
There's a reason why sports sponsorships revenue reached almost $9 billion last year. $9 billion. And it's going up 12% like on a regular basis. The numbers are so big.
How soon before 1 minute before the bases are sponsored, that the mound is sponsored, the boxes are sponsored.
Some of that, like All-Star games. Was Taco Bell doing a base?
Yeah, they do.
And then they do that promotion and someone steals the base. Everybody gets a freaking burrito or something.
But I mean, that there's actually more marketing, stuff on the mound.
Yeah.
You got Chipotle sponsoring the mound, or the batter's box, the On Deck Circle, the bases. Left field sponsored today by Intel.
Jeez. Hey, we're going to catch up with Chandler High School standout. Played at Virginia, Arizona State. Bryce Perkins, now the Los Angeles Rams quarterback, had an opportunity this past year to start in 3 games due to Stafford's injury. The first one was against the Cardinals. Manuch has been his coach, just like Brock Purdy. Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com, will give us an early insight on handicapping the Super Bowl as well. That's all coming up in hour number 2.
Are you looking to get in?
Hey, Rock, I'm going to have you cut that promo or that tease real quick. All right, man, go for it. You're teasing the one call. You think? Oh, yeah, I'll get a Flutie bite. Cool, thanks.
572-0647 or online at legacyperformanceaz.com. For limited time, if you mention me, Dan Manucci, they'll give you your first session on me. That's legacyperformanceaz.com.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Here's your big game report, brought to you by Cobblestone Auto Spa.
New York Giants defensive back Julian Love claimed this week that Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni is, quote, just along for a free ride, and his antics on the sideline are not helpful. We'll see if that plays out when the Chiefs and Eagles take the field. Meanwhile, no controversy here, just history. Super Bowl Sunday will feature 2 African-American starting quarterbacks for the first time ever. Patrick Mahomes called it this week, quote unquote, special.
There's no time like now to go unlimited with Cobblestone Auto Spa. Save time, save money, and wash all you want with no contract required. Visit cobblestone.com to find a location near you and sign up today. Cobblestone Auto Spa. Go unlimited.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
Win number 20 on the year last night for 5th-ranked Arizona. They rode a 40-point effort, a career high from Azulis to Bellis to a win over Oregon. The 44 to Bellis, the most for a Wildcat in 28 years. ASU now 16-7 with a win over Oregon State. The Suns will take on the Celtics in Boston today. Devin Booker expected to be back at some point on this 5-game road trip, perhaps early next week. He was doing some light work on the court this morning. Jody had NFL insider Ian Rappaport on the drive this morning, and he says, yes, he does see a scenario where Vance Joseph could return to the Cardinals staff under a new head coach. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your
Friday, look for mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures, though, pretty nice, getting up to about 74 degrees. Tonight, we'll see decreasing clouds and those temperatures dipping into those upper 40s. For the Foxton Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Maricopa Community Colleges. Spend some time at a Maricopa Community College before going on to a university. You'll be amazed at their award-winning faculty, beautiful college campuses, and the money you'll save on tuition. 10 colleges, affordable tuition. Make it happen at maricopa.edu/start.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
He's ready, guys.
And is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox
Guys are hot.
910.
We continue talking some football. It's a Quarterback Friday. We just had Sean Salisbury on the show. We got Doug Flutie coming up, and we always got Coach Manuch here. And now Los Angeles Rams quarterback Bryce Perkins joins us now on the right to it, I guess, on Fox Sports 910. How was your workout today, Bryce? How was the workout?
It was good. Just finished up. Had to earn the weekend.
2 hour. You go 2 hour workout, man. When I saw you at noon, it was like, all right, 2 hours, man. That's a little long, isn't it?
Yeah. You know that first 30 minutes when I got it, kind of just took a little while to get started, and then I met with some coaches I used to go here with, so. Didn't really get started till like 12:30, 45-ish. So about an hour 15 of work.
There you go. Now, wait a second, Bryce. The lab, we go 90 minutes in the lab. Are you slacking and Cadillacing all of a sudden? I mean, we just go 90 minutes and then we keep going. What's going on here?
Hey, no slacking. When we efficient, we boom. So it's good work. Not quite 90 minutes, but no slacking on this side.
Hey, Bryce, you've been working with Manuch for a long time, and you've had so much success, and you're in the National Football League. It's a treat to be where you are. And I recall, you used to get all this attention from us, and then now this Brock Purdy kid takes over, and he's getting all this attention. And I'm just wondering if you feel a little slated now because you were the star pupil. You were the guy. And then now Manuch is like, he's all about Brock Purdy. And I'm just checking in to making sure my man Manuch is still giving you the love.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Now, it's being from Arizona and just how much growth Arizona has gotten. I mean, I'm excited. I told Coach Manuch, I'm happy that, someone from Arizona was able to get in there and do bring somebody to Arizona, and maybe the love should go to Coach Manuch because since he's the one that orchestrated everything between the both of us. So says a lot about the teacher.
Well,
okay.
And Bryce, I appreciate that. I will definitely put a check in the mail to you in reference to all that. But you know what, Bryce? It's interesting. Yourself, Brock. You look at Tyler Shuck at Texas Tech. He was the MVP in the Texas Bowl. You got Tyson Thompson up there backing up Bo Nix in Oregon. You got Chubba Purdy, who's at Nebraska. You got Dalton Snead, who broke all kinds of records. He's down here playing with the he could be playing with the IFL from here. You look at all of the things that you guys have done for so long, with me helping you out. But why do you think the success for the Arizona quarterbacks to go to such a high level?
I mean, it really goes down to, like you said, you mentioned all those guys, so much talented guys that, when you're coming through the scene in high school, you have other guys that are doing really amazing things, or other guys that are really talented that, you look across the street or down the street at neighboring high schools, it pushes you and elevates you even more. So, when you're competing and get such a high level of talent and quarterbacks in Arizona, it elevates your game as well. So I remember, my year, different guys like Dalton and Brian Lewerke, those are guys that were around there. I love to just not even compete in the I got to beat you way, but okay, those guys are making me trying to step up my game, trying to be the number one guy in Arizona and just those constant battles, and Arizona's such a small place when you really think about it. You know, you're gonna run into those guys many times over through your career. So that friendly competition and pushing of one another definitely creates good habits and elevated game for sure.
Well, I think of your head coach at Chandler, Rick Garrettson, and you guys, you're the first quarterback that won a state title for Chandler, I think like 90 years or something like that. And then you go to ASU and you move on from there to Arizona Western, and then from there to UVA, and with Coach Mendenhall. So looking at all the coaches you've had, how did that get you ready for the Rams and Sean McVay and that staff so you had success there?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely just taught me, how to deal with change. Going from one place to one place, being comfortable with going to a new environment and, establishing relationships, trying to learn the playbook and just doing what I can, figuring out, different ways of taking in information and how that I can apply on the field, the best way I can. So I think one of the things that kind of allowed me to have success with the Rams and still be here 3 years later is the fact that, I came in and, I absorbed the information, really, really well. And, being a third string quarterback in the league, you're not getting a lot of reps. So the questions in the meeting room and different things like that, when you're called upon to answer or, just even get in to do a little bit here and there, without those multitude of reps, how well can you absorb information and show them that you can apply it as well. So I think, going through those different stages of my college career, helped me do that as well.
Roc and Manuch with Bryce Perkins, Los Angeles Rams quarterback. As this past year with the Rams, you got an opportunity to start a bunch of games. How much different was preparation knowing that you were getting the start opposed to being ready to get called in at any time?
Yeah, it was a lot different. Throughout the week, you're getting all the reps, you're getting those extra meetings with coaches after practice, before practice, at home, calling, different things like that. So it's a nonstop kind of preparation from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And even as the backup role, it's kind of still similar like that because you're watching film and everything like that. And then, with the starting your first game, it's really on you. So you're getting a lot of those meetings and not a lot of free time throughout the week. And it's also tailored to you. I mean, Coach, you can see from the Chiefs game that the offense is a little different from the offense of Matthew and the offense of John. So they tailor it to your strong suits, your talents and things that you've done. Going through the week, it's stressful, but it's fun and really glad that I got to experience that and know that off that experience is going to be even better for me the next time I'm thrown into a situation like that.
Yeah, Bryce, you did such a good job. I think some of the words of advice I had was just keep your head up, keep your head on a swivel, and just stay confident. I thought you did a great job. You had the one touchdown pass, 44 yards rushing, but you played against a team that's in the Super Bowl, that being the Kansas City Chiefs. Talk about that defense specifically with you playing against them and how you think that resonates versus the Eagles in this game coming up in a week and a half.
Yeah, man. The defense was fierce and it was super, super loud. Just to talk about the experience, it was really loud. And the sea of red in the Chiefs Stadium was something to look at. But no, the defense is good. They had great guys up front. Jones is a beast, and you don't realize kind of how just lengthy he is until one, he's batting the ball down, or two, he's chasing, coming off the edge and chasing you. Good DBs. Juan Thornhill is a good friend of mine. He's really talented. He flies around. I think it's going to be a good game. I think that the Eagles' rush offense is something that is very, 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 very good. And I think it's going to be a good battle. And on the flip side, is the Eagles front is very athletic, talented on the D line. Secondary is great, but then you have Mahomes on the side that's making magic. So good matchup. I think the Eagles break away with it, but it's going to be fun to watch.
What advice, you went through this last year as the Rams won the Super Bowl, and it was in your backyard there in Los Angeles. What advice, if you run into some guys here that get in town, specifically Eagles, because there's not a lot of guys on the Eagles that have been to the Super Bowl, a lot of Chiefs guys on their roster, but what advice can you give them from what you saw, what you witnessed, and what you were part of?
Man, just from last year, how the game kind of was going, things switched and turned quickly. All it took was one drive. We were down for a portion of the game, and I just remember Matthew coming on the sideline talking to Cooper Kupp, and he was like, "Hey, man, so no matter what happened, the previous drive, we're going to put the ball in the end zone this time." So it just shows how quickly the game can switch. And not just the Super Bowl, but every game, but especially the Super Bowl, because of all these other factors. You're the only game you've been playing for 2 weeks now.
2 minutes.
You've been doing different things in the city. It's a different city. You've been here for a week straight. So, man, keeping the head and being present and, the drive that's up and coming, and knowing that, no matter how much you're up, things can switch in a heartbeat. Not just last year, but when you look at the Patriots when they play the Falcons, things don't always go on script, but, sometimes when you can be able to operate off script and make those plays in those crucial moments, to flip the script, those are going to be the key factors of the game.
Where is your Super Bowl ring right now?
That big old bling you got.
Where is that?
Yeah, it's hiding. I haven't got a case yet, so I gave it to my parents because I didn't want it.
1 minute.
For whatever reason, I may take it out, I may lose it. So I gave it to my parents to take home, and right now I'm in the process of trying to find a case. Right now, it's hiding somewhere in the house somewhere.
I love it.
It's not out. It's not out in the open yet. That thing is precious. So I'm not trying to give anybody too many chances for whatever reason.
Yeah. All right, real quick. We're doing a contest with Talkie Stick Resort up in Scottsdale. You give us the score and the winner of the game. You'll get a 2-night stay up there. You'll get dinner for two at Orange Sky, dinner for two at Tosh, spa treatments as well. So with that being said, Bryce, who's going to win the Super Bowl? What's the score?
I got the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I got Jalen Hurts for a late touchdown to put the Eagles up 27-20 in the fourth quarter.
All right.
27-20.
Final score.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey,
27-20.
Hey there, Bryce. We love you. You're the man. You're the first one to lead the charge there besides me and a couple other guys in NFL. But don't be a stranger, man. Get your butt out to the lab. Let's work a little bit. Let's get, like I tell you, no slacking and Cadillacing. Let's go, man.
Nah, I got to dial in this offseason for sure. Nah, I can't slack.
Yep. We're expecting to see it. And then break out the ring in the lab so you can motivate those young men too.
Hey, that ring's heavy. It may throw off the whole mechanics of throwing the
football. Bryce, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate the time, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you, young man.
All right. Thank you, man. Love y'all. Appreciate it for having me.
Yeah, that's Bryce Perkins joining us. Chandler Great, Super Bowl champion, and getting a little workout. I caught up with him earlier today, and he's working out.
Have you seen how big that ring is?
No, I haven't.
It is ginormous.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I think you can put like 2 fingers in there.
So he got his picks in. We're going to give you an opportunity coming up here in just a minute. We'll tell you when, where you could give your prediction to win that same exact talking stick getaway as we are getting ready for the big game viewing party there. But coming up, we'll have our top stories of the day, and then we'll catch up with Scott Spreitzer for some advice, early advice on betting the Super Bowl, and then Doug Flutie. So we got a lot to get into as we continue on from Wright Toyota. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Join me, Jody Ayler, and Fox Sports 910 for the 23rd annual Celebrity Sweat Flag football game with over 30 stars, including RG3 and Tracy McGrady. It all happens at Grand Canyon University Super Saturday, February 11th. Get your tickets at celebflagfootball.com.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. And we've done it again. For the 7th year in a row, Lerner Rowe has been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Most recently, 9 out of 10 voters voted for Lerner Rowe. That's right. We received over 90% of the votes. Why are we so popular? Probably because our offices have recovered billions of dollars for our clients, recovering millions of dollars every week in Arizona. When you're looking for the best personal injury law firm in Arizona, look no further than Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Tune in weekdays 1 to 4 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for your chance to call in and give your prediction for the big game. Guess the score right and win the Talking Stick Resort Getaway Weekend valued at over $1,500. That's weekdays 1 to 4 right here on Fox Sports 910.
Are you looking to get into the best shape of your life or looking to offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manucci for the new Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park in Mesa. The state-of-the-art performance center is a 25,000 square foot facility and is home to sports performance for teams, individuals, combine prep, and professional athletes. And now the new home where I coach my quarterback. 80 yards of indoor turf and track along with an outside turf workout area, plus tons of squat and bench stations along with world-class training equipment. And they have the best team of coaches in the Southwest led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If you or your son or daughter are ready to take the next step by gaining more speed, agility, power, and flexibility, then you need to check out the Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park. Sign up by calling 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will create an individualized program specific to your needs. That's 480-572-0647 or online at legacyperformanceaz.com. For limited time, if you mention me, Dan Manucci, they'll give you your first session on me. That's legacyperformanceaz.com.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Ever wonder what your dog does all day?
I wonder what that suck tastes like. God, I hate cats. Wow, look at that. I can lick my...
Hey, man's best friend needs a good time, too. Duke's on Miller and McDowell is located right on the Greenbelt, has 3 huge patios, and is extremely dog-friendly. Grab a burger and a nice cold beer, a bowl of water, and enjoy all that Scottsdale's favorite sports bar has to offer.
Where Goose? Where Goose? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
And Doug.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke.
Hey, Roc and Manuch.
Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. And the music never stops.
On here it says rejoin CAZ Top Stories. Do you want to set it up or do you want me to come back with it?
His partner's Doug.
All right, cool.
The heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up.
Yeah, I can. It just takes a minute for it to load up since I didn't record it in real time. So give it like 15 and then it'll pop up. Cool.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Suns, Celtics. That's the game tonight, as they are trying to get back in the win column. They'll be in Massachusetts tonight with all those massholes playing some basketball.
I knew it was coming. Sooner or later.
Yeah, it was too easy. But they are coming off that disappointing loss, that 32-point loss to the Hawks. That was not good. Devin Booker will be out tonight. We're hoping as Suns fans that he'll be back on the court next week. That seems to be where it's going. Wednesday, I think it was, where he posted that he's rounding third. So hopefully he is getting closer to home and he'll be out there. Suns are sitting 7th in the West at 27 and 26. Devin Booker did get snubbed for the All-Star game, not even as a reserve. That could change. Zion's hurt. There's a bunch of guys that, who knows, could go down. A guy could go down and they can pick him up since he'll be back.
Didn't Zion get picked as a reserve, though?
Did he already?
Yeah, I think he did, even though he's I thought I'm going like, wait a second. If Zion is hurt and he's a reserve, where's the book, at least as a reserve? And to your point, Rock, with them
playing. He's not on my list here.
Okay, I thought he'd been picked. So Suns and Nets next Tuesday, then you got him at Atlanta on Thursday, and then back-to-back. Atlanta, and then Friday they got Indiana. So you're wondering maybe
Tuesday it's Brooklyn.
Yeah, the Nets.
Yeah,
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Atlanta on Thursday and Friday, Indianapolis, the Pacers. So maybe they hold them back, put them through some scrimmages on the road against the Pacers, or Maybe they wait till they get back that following week.
It's amazing. The last time we saw him was on Christmas Day.
It is amazing. It's a long time.
He played just 4 minutes in that game, and then he went down.
I'm just like, just make sure he's completely healed, and you don't bring him back until he get up and down the court in scrimmages and lengthy times, and that he can go, in a full practice or full scrimmage. Otherwise, just wait. Just wait till he's completely ready. No need to hurry this up.
Yeah, this road trip, you just broke it down, but when you break down back-to-backs, because you got tonight, then you got tomorrow in Detroit, then you have that Tuesday game, which, by the way, was flexed to TNT, so that maybe they know something. And then we find out Kyrie Irving wants out in Brooklyn.
What's new, Rob?
So maybe
What's
Devin
new?
Booker comes back. There's a lot of talk about Suns, a possible destination for Kyrie Irving. Move over Durant. Ben, you still think Kevin Durant's coming here?
I just talked to the local guy at the Filibertos. He told me he's got an inside source.
Yeah,
It'll be done by Thursday.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And then by Thursday, DL will be on a slow boat to China somewhere, and that's about it. He'll be. I'll tell you what, Rock. This DA trade talk. You better get the right person if you're going to do that by next Thursday. To fill big man for big man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get rid of him. New
now
owner.
I wouldn't either. If this is what, but
It's not his first round pick.
No. And he wants to see, for a guy making that kind of money, and as a new owner, not seeing with that, and we all knew he wasn't worth that max contract. But if he's not seeing the new owner, the new sheriff in town, so to speak, says, "Hey, James, I'm not seeing it. Let's trade him. What can you get?" And we'll move forward with that. And whatever. Devil may care what happens after the trade. We'll just deal with it.
Some college hoops. Last night, the Devils put an end to their 4-game losing streak. They knocked off Oregon State 68-57 in Tempe. Desmond Cambridge Jr. paced the team with 18 points, knocked down 3 shots from beyond the arc. They've improved to 16-7, 7-5 in the pack. They will be back on their home court tomorrow against Oregon. Speaking of Oregon, they lost to U of A last night by 15, 91-76 in Tucson at McHale Center. The Wildcats now are 20-3 overall, 9-3 in conference play. And then Grand Canyon, they'll host Stephen F. Austin tomorrow night in some whack action.
Nice to see the Devils get up and down the court. A few alley-oops, some outside shooting. It looked like the team we saw, 2 weeks ago. So now just take care of business against Oregon, get on the road, and just kind of keep that kind of mantra, if you will, moving forward and get the Pac-12 tournament. If you can have a shot at winning that, figure the top number 2 or 3, move on to the NCAAs. We're ready, Bobby. This lot of fans are ready for you to turn that corner and get to the NCAAs.
Alabama has got their OC as they have hired now former Notre Dame offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. So he is now the OC.
Tommy Rees, because Brian Kelly moved on. Where did Kelly end up going?
LSU.
That's right. Yeah,
LSU. And then Tommy Rees was there with
not Kelly, not Mark. I'm thinking O'Brien. O'Brien, who was there.
O'Brien went to Alabama after the Texans, and then now he's in the Patriots.
Back to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Comes full circle with that.
Speaking of Patriots, Doug Flutie will join us at 3:00 as he's going to be joining us out at Talking Stick Resort. Staying with college football, looks like Texas and Oklahoma. They'll be leaving the Big 12 on schedule. There was some talk that they were going to get a year early. That did not happen. SEC, according to ESPN, UT and OU are staying in the conference until 2025 because the parties can't reach a deal on an early exit. It has to do with money, it has to do with Fox.
Sure.
The report says that the sides could not agree on how to create enough money for the games that Fox would lose if the teams left in 2024. Now, they say there's still the possibility deals still can be reached, but right now it's pretty high.
What do we call that, Rock?
3.
An equitable solution, a monetary equitable solution that both sides can agree on. Texas probably went in there and OU offered them 50 cents on the dollar, and they said, no. If you don't give us the full $300 million, $500 million, whatever it is, arbitrary number, then you got to stay. Texas probably looked at their coffers in Oklahoma and said, well, we got a lot of money tied up in all this NIL deals. Maybe we stay an extra year and move on from there.
The best players in hockey are going to take the ice this weekend in South Florida as the NHL All-Star Game will take place tomorrow in Florida. 44 All-Star players will be set to compete in 4 separate division teams. And then in the semifinals, the teams play 3-on-3 for 2 10-minute halves. Then the 2 winners of each semifinal will square off in the All-Star Championship. Now, the Central Division will take on the Pacific. The Metro will take on Atlantic in the semis. And it all starts tonight with the All-Star Skills Competition, which includes the fastest skater, the hardest shot, and the breakaway challenge. I like those. Those are cool.
I do too. Matter of fact,
Blake Keller representing the Yotes.
I was hoping the NFL would do something similar to that. I enjoy the skills challenge in hockey, the skills challenge in the NBA, but the NFL, it's okay. We're going to go play dodgeball. We're going to do this. I want to see skills. I want to see guys throw it, catch it. Linebackers, how quick are you in the shuttle? How do you get here? How do you get there? Nothing to do. And you know what? Go put the pads on. I think it'd be cool. Put your uniform on, your home uniform. Let them go ahead and do something like that. And then how about doing it out there in the, if you had like a big old artificial beach, you'd something like that. If you want to incorporate some of that, they're not doing it. I have no idea what that was last night.
Our daily digit today has to do with NASCAR.
1 minute.
55. What is 55? That's the amount of tons of concrete barriers that were delivered to the LA Coliseum last month for this weekend's NASCAR Busch Clash, which is in the Coliseum.
Did you see it last year?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. It was different.
It had more than enough room. I mean, it was small. It's like kind of like a dirt track kind of thing, but it was fun to watch.
Before we catch up with Scott Spreitzer, here's our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question today. Who is the greatest quarterback to only win 1 Super Bowl? Is it Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Ken Stabler, or Brett Favre? Namath, Unitas, Stabler, or Favre? I think that's pretty obvious.
Well, Kenny Stabler, he only went to 1, but he was damn good.
Yeah,
Johnny U, considered one of the best of all time. Old era, now new era. You can blend them. You remember in that Super Bowl against the Jets in '69, he didn't start. It was Earl Morrall was the quarterback. The one he started was 2 years later when the Colts took on the Dallas Cowboys. And they won that game with the game-winning field goal by Jim O'Brien.
Hey, real quick, Ben is telling us, or maybe it was Jax, just put on our show sheet that something that we talked about in the first hour is maybe is coming to fruition if the Suns are in the running for Kyrie Irving, according to The Athletic.
Improve the team one way or the other. They could. Hey, he
was on the list last year.
They'd make him. They would coexist, Rock. They'd get it figured out.
Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com, will join us next to give us some advice the week before the Super Bowl. He'll offer up some props and basically just tell us what we need to do as we are jonesing right now for some football. It's coming up. We're out here, right Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The NBA trade deadline now less than a week away, and the love-hate relationship between the Brooklyn Nets and their star guard Kyrie Irving is struggling once again. He reportedly informed the team that he wants to be traded. The Suns will battle the Celtics in Boston today. Devin Booker is with the team and is perhaps shooting for a return from his groin injury early next week. Cam Johnson is out for right knee injury management. Word is Cam Payne's foot will be reevaluated for a third time next week. And former Mercury guard Kia Nurse has signed on with the Seattle Storm. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
The football postseason is here, and you can still win Twin Peaks Man Cards just by playing Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's weekly Fan Pick'em contest. Head to fanpick'em.com and get in your weekly picks for your chance at weekly Man Cards. Thanks to Twin Peaks, Coors Light, and Blue Moon. Don't forget to stop by one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations to watch all the playoff action.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox.
Hey kids, let's go.
Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead, wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Make plans for the big one Sunday, February 12th at either the showroom in Casino, Arizona, or the Ballroom and Talking Stick Resort. Win cash just for watching the big game, as this year marks Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as the 22nd consecutive season. Doors open at 2. First come, first serve. Just be 21 or older. It's the big game viewing party with tons of cash and giveaways. See you on February 12th at either Casino, Arizona or Talking Stick Resort.
Here's your big game report, brought to you by Cobblestone Auto Spa.
New York Giants defensive back Julian Love claimed this week that Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni is, quote, just along for a free ride, and his antics on the sideline are not helpful. We'll see if that plays out when the Chiefs and Eagles take the field. Meanwhile, no controversy here, just history. Super Bowl Sunday will feature 2 African-American starting quarterbacks for the first time ever. Patrick Mahomes called it this week, quote unquote, special.
There's no time like now to go unlimited with Cobblestone Auto Spa. Save time, save money, and wash all you want with no contract required. Visit cobblestone.com to find a location near you and sign up today. Cobblestone Auto Spa. Go unlimited.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest for RAD. Over 300 people in this country.
All right, guys, everything's all set.
Week by a drunk driver. That's the equivalent of 2 747 plane crashes every single week. And the problem isn't going away unless we all do our part to stop it. So if you see someone who's about to drive after drinking, get the keys. Don't leave it up to anyone else. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Time to break down this weekend's biggest games with one of the nation's premier handicappers. Sports.com and seen every week on ESPN's Sunday Countdown.
All right, hey, you guys are hot.
Spritzer. And he's here to help make sure your picks pay out with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
Man, I'm just relaxing right now because in about 2 hours, we're going to get all those numbers for 3,000 college basketball games tomorrow, and then I'll be jumping into that for the next 8 or 9 hours. But it's kind of nice. You know, as we're getting ready to do this, I just got the sports book over at Caesars emailed me their props, and there's 21 pages of props. And so I'll be jumping into that this weekend too. That's just from Caesars. So there's going to be books that are going to have a lot of the same stuff. Excuse me, numbers will differ a little bit by shop, but there's going to be, a good 16 to 22 pages of props for each sports book over the next few days. Yeah, it depends. I mean, there are some props that I'll jump in on. I jumped in already on Jalen Hurts to score a first quarter touchdown. It was right around plus 210 at the time. I thought the price would come down more towards, maybe plus $1.85 by the time, we get to next week. But, you look at that team and they've scored 62 62 opening drive points on the season, which is more than anybody else in football. And with Hurts quarterbacking that situation, I thought it's a good bet to play him, and at 210, you get basically $21 back for every 10 you bet. So I jumped on that. Look at it. I'm really tempted, right now to jump on Isaiah Pacheco to run for more than 49.5 yards. He's only had like twice in the last 9 games where he fell short of that. One of those was last week. But I see the under price at Caesars as we're talking. I'm looking at these is minus $1.35 to go under. So that might come down maybe a yard in the next few days, and then I'll jump on that. But yeah, I'm looking at some of these props. I think some of them are worth jumping on now. For the most part, though, I'll be waiting a few more days before I do that. Boy, that's a good one. I really think that, being able, like betting on Philadelphia to score a touchdown in the first quarter, to score a first quarter touchdown for Philly is plus $1.05. That's not just Hurts, that's anybody. And so you're getting 10.50 back for every 10 you bet. I think that's one of the ones that are likely to happen because they are such a good first quarter football team on offense. So, you know what? The sack totals, which I'm looking right now as I see this page, I see a 5.5 on the over-under on sack totals. That's been a good overplay over the years in the Super Bowl, at least over, the modern Super Bowls of the last 15, 20 years or so. And I'm looking at this defensive line for Philly when I was kind of handicapping the game a little bit more this morning. They've got 5 defensive linemen with 8 or more sacks. And, of course, Hassan Reddick with 19.5 being the most. But you look at, Josh Sweat, 12.5. You look at Graham, 12. You look at Hargrove, 12. Fletcher Cox, 8. He's the low guy on that list. This is the second time in NFL history that a team has had 5 defensive linemen with at least 8 sacks. The last time it happened, and the only other time it happened, were the Raiders back in 1983. So I'm looking at over 5.5 sacks. I think they've got guys who can individually beat their assignments enough to at least get 3 or 4 sacks out of Philly, maybe 1 or 2 out of the Kansas City Chiefs. I do believe that they're going to be able to get that over the total. And guys, I got to tell you, I haven't decided. I'm leaning towards Philly. I think their offensive line is going to be too much for KC. But I really think, and I'll decide by Monday, but I really think the key to this game, those crosses, those Kelsey crosses, as I like to call them, when you watch what this guy's done on those crosses against zone defenses, when they've completed those passes, you're talking about 17.3 yards per reception. And they love to run that against zone defenses. Philly loves to play the zone. Is there any tight end smarter at finding that open space than Kelsey? Maybe about 10, 12 yards downfield and then turning them into 20-yard gains. I really think it's going to come down to, can Patrick Mahomes get enough protection to be able to take a little bit more time to find Kelsey on those crosses? If they can, I think we're going to have a high-scoring game. It's going to be tough for Philadelphia to win. That's my big caveat, I guess, as far as if I want to bet Philly, do I want to take a chance against those Kelsey crosses?
Yeah, Scott. I see the spread now at 1.5 now. It was 2.5. Where do you think it's going to end at? And I feel bad I didn't jump out at 2.5, but you think it's going to keep going up and down, or it's just right back to win?
Yeah, this is one of the games. There's this and the college football championship where the public absolutely influences the line movement because there's so many tickets that come in. It's always usually sharps that influence the line movement, but the public does on this game and the college football championship. And so the public will start coming in more next Thursday night, Friday, and all that kind of good stuff, the final weekend as we head into the Super Bowl with all their bets. And right now I'm looking at a few different books, and they're saying between 60, 63% of the bets thus far are on Philadelphia of the tickets. I have a feeling the public, even though it's leaning that way towards Philly right now, I think the Patrick Mahomes hype, as long as they find out that the receivers are going to play, because right now you got a bunch of banged up receivers for KC, I think the public eventually comes in on KC. I'm not sure it's going to get higher than 2. And there are a couple of 2s out there, but it's mostly 1.5. I really think this is going to land and be just a prediction of right around, pick 'em to 1. I do believe that the public's infatuation with Mahomes will eventually lead to a lot more tickets coming in on KC. Yeah, that's all I'm basically doing. It's the receivers for KC that I'd be concerned about the most. And, we saw Juju didn't practice again today. I think there were 3 receivers that didn't practice today for KC. And, from what I heard yesterday, they're now listed him as doubtful, but Hardman was listed as out yesterday in some locations and some services that provide injury information. So, and then Kadarius Toney, he didn't practice today. So, I want to know probably by the end of the day, Monday, if these guys have taken the field in any kind of practice. And if they're, looking into Monday and Tuesday, and they're still not practicing. They were at practice, but they weren't suited up today. So it's a situation of, man, that could influence the betting, obviously. And as great as Patrick Mahomes is, and Kelsey, and the play calling and all that kind of stuff, what are you going to throw to? Practice squad wide receivers in the Super Bowl? I mean, you really got to keep an eye on it. That will influence the bets also. And I think, again, because the public will really start coming in a week from now, that they're going to know all this stuff by then, as we all will, and then they'll start making their bets. If Kansas City's healthy at wide receiver, let's say Hardman's out or he can't play much, but the other guys, Schuster, Tony, they're practicing this coming week, then I think you'll see public action on KC. But if they're banged up, I mean, it's kind of tough to back a team that doesn't have their top receivers. Oh, yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost like they're hoping that they're questionable. That's what I get the feeling is like, oh, yeah, he's questionable, when you see these. But it's almost like, well, he's probably more like doubtful. We're just kind of hoping he's questionable. And then and then he can practice next week. And you're right about the Eagles. My gosh, I was doing some work on this yesterday, and I'm like, this team looks like they're just starting, preseason camp with their injury list being, so minimal. But yeah, you're right. And also, if you look at what happened last week against Cincy, and obviously Cincy came close to beating Kansas City, they had 3 offensive linemen that hadn't started until the prior week. Yeah, I know they beat up on Buffalo, and now you're going to go up against one of the best offensive lines in the NFL when you take on Philly. And as far as, again, back to the receivers, you saw last week, Kansas City didn't exactly light up Cincinnati. Now they're going up against the best pass rush in all of the NFL by far. And if Mahomes doesn't have a little bit of time for his, let's say, I don't want to call them replacement receivers, but backup receivers, to be able to find some separation, they're going to be in a lot of trouble in this game. Guys, as it is right now, that total is 50.5, 51. It came down a little bit again today. There was somebody who put a 6-figure bet at Caesars yesterday on the over, which, I don't agree with. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I don't think it's going to get into the 50s.
Two minutes.
Perfect, man. Take care, guys.
Here we go. Steve Covino.
Ooh.
Rich Davis.
Yes.
This is Covino and Rich.
Fair assessment that it's like weird to pick on the team when they were left with nothing. If the Eagles beat the Niners and the Niners are playing full, like, yo, we whooped your ass. When you're beating the 5th string quarterback, sort of like a weird flex, no?
You're taking away from the Eagles defense.
Covino and Rich. This afternoon at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. You hear a lot of attorneys talking about a lot of things, but the thing you hardly ever hear is them talk about their results. Why? Because they don't have any? Okay, they have some, but I don't know of any other law firm that has recovered billions of dollars for their injured clients and that is recovering millions of dollars every week in Arizona. What other law firm can say that? Experience and results matter. Hurt in a wreck? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
It's 2023. New year, time to get fit again, doctor's orders. This year, I'm going to guarantee I get back in shape by getting a heating tune-up with AC Doctors. I can worry about the Stairmaster tomorrow. Today, I'm calling AC Doctors to get my AC system as fit as a fiddle and save a ton of money. With the utility increases, it's time for me to follow through on this New Year's resolution. Call AC Doctors today and get your heating tune-up for only $75. Call AC Doctors at 602-767-7435 or visit the acdoctors.com.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never thought about space in my cramped apartment, but in this house, all I see is empty space. The sofa and ottoman look like tiny islands in a sea of hardwood floors. I could get 2 ottomans in the living room, but then I'd need another sofa. I could tell people I'm into minimalism.
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
More sports, more Jody. The Drive with Jody Ayler, now in mornings 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards? Did you know the career record for most hits is 4,256 by Pete Rose, who is not in the Hall of Fame?
Do you know that my next door neighbor has 3 rabbits?
Now time for
You guys are
Fox
hot.
Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you the random facts of the day driven by your Valley Chevy dealers. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. For a dealer near you, head to valleychevy.com.
Doug Flutie will join us at the top of the hour, so about 13 minutes. Doug Flutie will join us, excited, and Sean Salisbury as well in that last hour. And we'll recap our whole week from Jax. It's the Rewind, which will be coming up again in hour number 3. I do right now want to give you a chance to predict the game off the air. All you got to do is call us at 602-260-9191. We'll take callers 3, 4, and 5, and you give us the team that's going to win the big game and the score. If you get it right, you're going to win a 2-night getaway to Talking Stick Resort. Included in that getaway, of course, just 2 hotel nights. Dinner for 2 at the Orange Sky, which is up top. Also dinner for 2, another night up there as well at Tosh, and a couple spa treatments. How about that? Certificates. So it's a really, really good promotion, and it's really easy to get involved. All you got to do is be able to dial phone 602-260-9191 and put your score in. Our random fact of the day: Netflix is going to start cracking down on password sharing this month.
Well, we're clean. We got our password. I'm not sharing with nobody.
Whatever.
I don't share with anybody.
Come on, your
No.
kids don't give you.
No.
Your kids like
They got their own deal. My daughter, they're both in Denver. She does all that streaming stuff. So they don't have they've got they just do stuff through their computer. They both do. Just pull it up.
All right, so we now know how they're going to do it, kind of, sort of, anyway. It was updated in an FAQ that said to ensure uninterrupted access to Netflix, connect to the Wi-Fi at your primary location, open up the Netflix app or website, and watch something at least once every 31 days. Now, this creates a trusted device so you can watch Netflix even though you could be somewhere else.
Sure.
So I'm anxious to see how this is going to work.
I don't think we ever,
because Jax,
yeah,
you're that age that in college you're sharing.
Oh,
passwords.
yeah, 100%. All of mine are shared.
100%.
All of mine are shared from my
Yeah.
parents. All of them. So this is bad news.
It is, because what happens is Netflix is a $1 billion company.
Sure.
If this works for them,
oh, buddy,
it's got a domino effect.
Here they go. Well, it's just interesting how they can figure it out. They can just kind of set those tentacles and send all that stuff out there and bust you.
Yeah, I wonder how much more money they'll make from doing this. How many people are actually password sharing?
Well,
have their own accounts.
It says. So here's some of the questions. One of the questions was: so what if someone outside your household tries to use your account on a non-trusted device? Traveling.
Sure,
you want to
sure.
get it. Says that Netflix will prompt users to try to sign into your account elsewhere to sign up for their own account instead and block their access until they do. But what if that someone is you? You're the one that's traveling.
Yeah.
You're not on your phone.
Right.
You don't have your
Sure.
laptop. You're at, I don't know, you're at a hotel or you're,
Right.
you're up at your cabin, what have you. They said that you'll
you'll have to request a temporary code when you sign in.
Wow.
And it'll give you access for 7 days consecutive.
Well, that's weird because, we use all of our devices for the different, apps or the different sites we go to, and they'll send a thing. Hey, did you go into, it'll come to this one. This is a device we're not familiar with. And just let you know if it is, okay, nothing to be seen here. Now they're going to say, hey, look, we don't register this as you. You're somewhere. How, what do they do? Block you. Then, oh, by the way, we have a deal for you. And if you want to really get involved here, I don't think they'll fine you or do anything like that to you. Oh, this is jail time or fine time.
Former AD at Arizona State, Gene Smith, now at Ohio State's been there for quite some time, does a tremendous job. Great guy, also a Fiesta Bowl guy here still. Will not be the next Big Ten commissioner as Kevin Warner left. Is now with Chicago. Kevin Warren, who's now with the Chicago Bears. He says, quote, Smith said, I'm not interested in that commissioner's job. So he goes, you can throw it in there. People keep asking me, and I'm like, why? He likes where he's at.
He's got a great deal. I mean, he's making probably $2 million a year. Rock a guy, AD like that.
A lot more than that.
More than that.
Yeah, I think so.
He's comfortable in Columbus, and why go deal with other headaches? Not that you have a lot of Ohio State, but
you have a lot.
Do you have a lot of headaches?
I'm sure you do.
Well,
any big school, you do.
I think,
and now I don't even know why you want to be an AD with NIL.
Well, I was just going to say that with the NIL and all the other stuff surrounding football and basketball, at least men's, is all that in particular. And you have to be the gatekeeper to make sure it's all above board.
And I mean, an AD, as a kid, or not a kid, but when I was out of college, I aspired to be an AD. That's what I wanted to be. I went to grad school because I wanted to be an AD. Came from the sports information deal, and I really think that would be a great career. I think it'd be awesome. It'd be really cool. But I was back at Ohio State, October, and went to a game, and I was out the night before and dinner with some friends and stuff like that, and some people that knew Gene, and he was actually at the restaurant we are. And I was told, and I don't know how factual this is, but like on a Friday night before game days, he's got to make like 20 stops just to go to every
part of the deal.
Just do the whole thing. That just seems like that would be exhausting.
Yeah, he's glad-handed.
And I don't know if I could be the guy that wants to go watch a tennis match on a Saturday or swimming or any of the non-revenue sports.
Well,
you're not my thing.
You're making $2.5-3 million a year, whatever. It's part of the deal. I mean, I'd have no problem going to watching sports and making that kind of money.
Yeah,
but it's a headache. You're losing.
Like, all right, it's Saturday. You're working all week. All right, I got to be seen.
Sure.
Because, all those sports want to see that AD. He's going to be at all the basketball games and football games. So Alabama Athletics now has an official public NIL entity. It's called Yeah Alabama. And previously there was only a third-party group that was not officially affiliated with Alabama. So they call this Yeah Alabama as an NIL entity, not as an NIL collective, which the collective is with Arizona State, right? So there's 3 levels to participate. There's the fans, the legends, and then the sponsors. Now, fans are monthly subscribers who get to pick a level of support for what Alabama describes as like exclusive content through the year. Legends, you make donations to the Walk of Champions. It's a nonprofit. And then the third are the sponsors. And that's where these brands are looking for endorsements with these student athletes. So, Nick Saban's has been quite outspoken. He even said he turned away a recruit recently that wanted $800,000 in exchange for his commitment. And then another player who transferred from Nebraska requested $500,000 and law school admission for his girlfriend just to stay with the team.
Let the fun continue.
How is that fun?
Well, I'm saying the Pandora's box was opened a couple years ago. This thing is a mess. It is so far out of whack. You see, now the players or who's ever representing them, they can't technically have an agent. Maybe it's the mom or the dad. It's like the tail wagging a dog. And I respect Saban going, hey, look, not here. Head down to Texas A&M, see what Jimbo can do for you. But we're not going to do that. He's not going to allow these players or their representatives come in and tell him what they want if they're going to be at Alabama. But you know what? Those guys will go to LSU. They'll go to Texas A&M. And then after a few years, if he's still not going to the national title game or hasn't made it to a national title game in 4 or 5 years, it might change his tune. I mean, because these are some stud players that are coming to LSU and all the other schools. He'll still get stud players, don't get me wrong. And they'll get paid very well with their NILs. but he has a limit as to what he's going to pay a lot of these guys. $500,000, $1 million. Some guys making $2.2 million. You're going, what? So you're in rumors that Jaden Daniels at LSU is making about $1.5 million in an NAL. That's unsubstantiated, but it sounds like in par what they're doing at LSU to get them back to prominence. And he's coming back for another year.
Do we want to end the week on a high note with Ben? So we have Doug Flutie going to join us around 3 o'clock.
Right.
Would it be a problem if I said we're going to take like 5 more callers right now, or should I wait?
We better wait. Yeah,
he can't handle it.
Because
he can't handle that.
Yeah, Doug might call in early.
But what if Doug's going to call on the hotline?
Let's not do that to him. It's Doug Flutie.
Makes life hard.
So after Doug, we'll do it.
We'll do after Doug.
Okay, all right. We'll get in that. By the way, the original Blade Runner movie was set in 2019.
Blade Runner?
30.
Remember that?
Yes.
Good movie.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I've heard of it before.
It's an old movie.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
They used to have big discs that you plop in, all kinds of stuff back then. Many, many years ago.
Doug Flutie and Sean Salisbury, will join us in this hour as Doug is scheduled to join us at 3 o'clock. He's going to be part of our big viewing party out at Talking Stick Resort with Bo Jackson. So looking forward to catching up with Doug Flutie next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Hey, Manuch, you want to cut some promos from me while I get
change in your career path, or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All see.
1 second. All right, man, go for it.
Friend, it's your time. It's your help.
You're still recording. You were good. It was still recording you, but you're good.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. Number one for music, radio, and podcasts all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
He's missed nearly 6 weeks with a groin strain, and the end of his being sidelined is within sight for the Suns' Devin Booker, who traveled east with the team for their road trip, which opens in Boston today. It appears as though Tuesday night in Brooklyn may be where we see him in game action. Now, whether the Nets have Kyrie Irving on Tuesday remains to be seen, as he's reportedly told the team that he wants to be traded by next week's deadline. The NFL is saying today that there were 149 concussions suffered by players this season. That is an 18% increase from the number reported in 2021. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000.
Flutie's ready, guys.
Nationwide keyword on our website.
Take callers after this segment because I won't be able to answer people with Flutie on the phone.
FoxSports910.com.
This is the Parker and Sons.
I know you know, Rock. I was making sure Manuch knows.
Electric needs. Call Parker.
You know that guy. Just sometimes he goes off script.
Those temperatures dipping into those upper 40s, and then for your Saturday, things are looking fantastic. Temperatures well above those seasonal averages, getting up to 76 degrees with plenty of sun. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Hiring can be a headache. That's why there's Indeed, the hiring platform that removes the hassle. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. And you can schedule and conduct video interviews right on their site. Visit Indeed.com/.
Are you guys going to make it out to the Waste Management Open?
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch. With
The Flutie one?
Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. And is
I have Flutie's highlights ready as well.
Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call.
Yeah, right after this, right?
602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Drop kick for him. Drop kick for the extra point. It is up and in. Can you believe that? And what Doug Flutie's last professional football game. That is 1 point, and it's 25-20. Miami's lead cut down to 5.
That alone was the price of admission right here for these wide receivers out to the right. Flutie flushed. Throws it down. Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it.
You guys are hot. 5 seconds.
The Eagles win it. Unbelievable. I don't believe it.
How about that little flashback Friday here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. As joining us now on the right to the guest line is Doug Flutie. You just heard the drop kick as well as the miracle pass. And he joins us here on Fox Sports 910. Doug, it's Roc and Manuch. Thanks so much for some time today. Do you it probably doesn't get old, does it? Getting some of those flashback memories?
No, you know what? I'm sitting here listening to the calls, and I start smiling, and it just brings a smile on my face. The amazing thing about the Hail Mary pass, a couple of years ago, we did a story on it again. I think it was the 35th anniversary. I saw a different camera angle. My tight end was telling me for years he was open on the backside. I'm open. I saw it. He's wide open all by himself on the 10-yard line to the far sideline. If I had pulled up and thrown back, he would have walked in.
Wow.
My question, Doug, is did Phelan keep the new twist?
Go ahead, Doug.
What was that?
No, go ahead.
I know. It's just a new twist on an old story that got for 35 years. And he had always said that. Because I told him last second, just go down the backside. He was supposed to be in pass protection. And when I rolled right, linebacker was coming at me, so I just turned it loose for the end zone and threw the Hail Mary like I always did. But I was hoping to get out there and maybe peek backside, and I never had time. And for years, and I'm like, yeah, you know how everybody says, oh, I'm open. I'm open. No, I actually still framed the video, so I sent him the picture of him by himself. I said, you've been right for 35 years. You know, interesting you said, because
that's awesome.
I looked at your Twitter site last night, Doug. This is Manuch. Always great to talk to you. And you had Eli reenact that. You had the dummy in the end zone since you couldn't fly in Gerald Phelan to stand in there, and you had him roll out. And was it about 63, 65 yards? And Eli could still crank it out there. Can Can you still crank it out there about 65 yards when you guys did that filming?
I can throw it about 53 right now. Is the limit. Yeah, you know what? Eli is awesome. We had a blast filming that. He's open to do anything, and I always have been. I'm a little kid anyway, so I'm just gonna have fun. But Eli's a lot that way. He's just open to doing anything and everything. And what was the thing he just did recently where he went for a tryout at Penn State?
Pretending
to be
undercover.
It's
Tremendous.
Having a lot of fun.
They're pretty good actors there, the Manning family.
By the way, did Gerald Phelan keep the ball? Do you have the ball? Did they kick it for the extra point? I mean, whatever happened to the football, Doug?
Okay, I believe Gerard has the ball.
Okay.
I have a ball from the game. So they gave us the balls out of the game bag from the game. The equipment guy knew right away to go get that ball, and he did. And he moved it to the side. Gerard has that one. There's no way to completely 100% say, yes, that's the exact ball. But Gerard has that. I'm like 98% sure the one Gerard has is the one that he caught. I have a ball from that game. Gerard and I have remained friends for forever. And it's just it's a thing every year. We text each other on November 23rd. Hey, nice throw. Hey, nice catch.
We're busy with Doug Flutie, who is going to be our guest. Is going to be joining us with Bo Jackson at Talking Stick Resort for the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort. And Doug, really looking forward to that. Something we've been doing for about 22 years. So we'll have a huge crowd out there. We've been doing this a long time, Manuch and I, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're glad that you guys you're going to be part of that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Interacting with fans, signing autographs, picture taking, all that stuff, and just like I just said, I'm pretty much game for anything. So if somebody's got a ball in the room, we'll get a touch football game going at halftime. Hey, whatever goes.
So,
it sounds like a lot of fun and great way to see the game.
Hey, I want to ask you, as I was, I pulled the first drop kick since 41 that you did. I know it gets talked about quite a bit in December for, this day on NFL history. But what I noticed was the biggest smile I've ever seen from Coach Belichick. And, you were around him for many years. But for the fans, you don't get to see that side of him. And that made him laugh, which I thought was really cool.
It really was. It was cool for me to actually do something to make guys on the team smile about something. Like I sat the bench and had the pom-poms out cheering for Brady all year long. Come on, Tom. Win me a ring. Come on. So when I had a chance to do something like that, it was really cool. And I ran off. It was so funny. There's a whole story that goes with the drop kick and all that. But as I'm jogging over to the sideline, I'm going to Belichick for a hug, right? I just going to Bill to say thank you. And I go to give him a real kind of awkward hug, but he's got the big smile. And, Bill's not a touchy-feely kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
So,
oh, really?
It was cool. So Bill's got the big smile. Well, I see my daughter after the game, my wife and daughter in the concourse, and she's like, "You blew off Tom Brady on national TV." I'm like, "What?" I went towards Bill, and Tom came out for a high five, and I just blew right by him on TV. Tom's got this bad timing on his high five. Doesn't make eye contact or puts his hand up late. I don't know, but it was fun. It was fun to see Bill smile. And honestly, the guys I've always messed around in pre-games, drop kicking, and I'm like a 10-year-old kid out there, right? And Chris Berman had seen me doing this, and he actually went to Belichick and told him, "Hey, Flutie can drop kick. It hasn't been done since 41. It'd be really cool." And then it was a really cool thing for me because it's the last play of my NFL career.
That's unbelievable. Doug Flutie joining us here on Fox Sports 910. Speaking of Tom Brady, you were his backup, believe it or not, which a lot of people may not have known that. You've been out of the league for a little while, and Tom was in the league for so long. Is this it for him, you think?
I think it is. His demeanor and the way he announced it, yes, I believe it's final for Tom. The toughest thing gets to be, and it's not the physical. He can throw the football still. I mean, he is as accurate as ever. Obviously, he's sharp as a tack and makes great decisions, does all that part, makes everybody better. But the drive it takes and the willingness to prep every week, and it amazes me that he's had that passion for so long after having so much success. And that's the part that gets tough. But I do think it's final for Tom. I think he's ready to move on. But if somebody in the middle of this year next year has a quarterback issue like San Francisco had in the playoffs, right? And they're calling Tom, and it's like, hey, 4 more weeks. What the hell? I doubt he'd ever do that because it's tough to do. It's tough to jump into something, learn a new offense, and get rolling. But I guarantee there's going to be a temptation at some point. But I think Tom is done.
What kind of advice can you give him? You've had such a successful career in the broadcasting booth, and now he's getting paid $300 billion, to be doing what we all love doing. And what advice could you give him?
I tell you, the most advice I can is it's a job. Treat it as such. Do your homework. Initially, when you first transition into it, it's kind
3
of
minutes
easy because you know the players in the league, you know your guys, and you especially for Tom, know defensive, offensive coordinators and what they like to do. Like when Romo went into the booth, right? He went, and if he does his divisional games, he knows these teams like the back of his hand. But over time, it's new work, it's new studying, it's all the young players come into the league, and things change. Offenses change in the league. It's a job, and it can be. The first year you get by with your current knowledge and everything of the league and the guys, and that was the surprise to me. It took me a while because it's hard to find something you're as passionate about as you were the game playing.
Right.
So it takes a while to really make that commitment, dig in, and get after it.
Doug, I want to get your thoughts about Patrick Mahomes and this Super Bowl coming up and Jalen Hurts. When you first saw Patrick Mahomes come on the scene, we had a chance to see him at Texas Tech against ASU and watch this young man. I thought he was reincarnated Doug Flutie, throwing the sidearms, doing jump passes, flipping it from underhand, throwing behind the bag. I mean, when you watch him, what's the first thing come? When you initially saw him come on the scene and seen this consistency with this young man, what comes to mind when you watch him?
Well, first of all, I love watching him play because of all that, because of just the instinctive play and reacting. But he's a middle infielder. I think of the middle infielder that can pick the ball up in the hole on the backhand and do a jump pass across the diamond, or turn the double play and just flip his hips and sidearm all over to first. And that's the way he throws. And that's the way I threw a football, was like a baseball. I really, I could pick it up one hand, didn't have to put the left hand on the ball and throw it from any angle because I played baseball. And that's what I see. But of course, he could throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and I couldn't. So he's got this cannon of an arm. He's ridiculously athletic. And then after early success, his confidence level is through the roof.
1 minute.
What he did last week was really, because the week before with the ankle injury, I thought they must have shot it up at halftime for him to play in the second half because he could not even put any pressure on it. Then to be able to beat it up in the second half of that game and turn around a week later and be able to play the way he did. Now he was hobbling in the second half, but he was so much more mobile than I even thought he would be. Now he's got the extra week rest. He should be good to go for Super Bowl. So he impresses me in that no situation's too big for him. He handles all the pressure, rises, makes everybody around him better, all that stuff. It's fun to watch.
Doug, thanks for some time today. We really look forward to having you out there at Talking Stick Resort next Sunday. We'll have a lot of fun, and we'll have Bo Jackson out there. I would love to see you throwing throwing the ball with Bo Jackson. That'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, Doug, I'll bring a ball.
I'll flip it. I'll flip it over to Bo, and Bo will just knock it down and say, I'm done with that. I don't do that stuff anymore. Give me a baseball bat. Maybe I'll hit a ball.
Doug, I heard he's like into archery now, so I'm anxious to hear him talk about archery. I mean, Bo knows everything, I guess. I don't know. It'll be fun. We'll see. So,
when he puts his mind to anything, he's a stud at it. He's
absolutely. Doug, thank you. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate your time.
All right, take care.
It's Doug Flutie joining us. He's going to be joining us at the Talking Stick Resort big game viewing party. We can't wait. It's going to be a blast. And we are really excited to have him and Bo Jackson. And we are working on a couple other guys that we should hear that I think you'll be pretty impressed when you hear. But it's going to be great. So if you want to go and you want to join us, you got to get tickets now. Ticketmaster, $25. We're giving away the cash just for watching the game. We're doing squares. We're doing props. We're doing a kickoff jackpot. We're doing jerseys. We got unbelievable menu of tailgating, all types of different type of bars and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But you got to get your tickets now. They're $35 at the door, $25 now. Ticketmaster.com. I think what's going to be great. You're going to want to get there early for the Q&A. We're going to have a Q&A with Bo. We're going to have a Q&A with Doug. Sounds like Doug's going to hang out with us for the majority of the game, so he won't actually be going to the game. He'll stay with us. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So we're really, really looking forward to that. Hey, we have that big game challenge contest going on. We'll take callers 3, 4, and 5 at 602-260-9191. All we need is to score the game and who's going to win. If you get it right, if you nail it, you're going to get a 2-night stay at Talking Stick Resort, dinner for 2 at the Orange Sky, dinner for 2 at the Tosh, and spa. 602-260-9191. Jax is next with our rewind for the week, and then Sean Salisbury. This is Fox Sports 910.
Sun Devil Hockey sweeps St. Thomas at home and heads to Fairbanks for a series with the Manuchs before returning to the Mullet on February 17th. Mark your calendars for 6:30 p.m. for all the action here on Fox Sports 910, the home of Sun Devil Hockey.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
It looks like our Friday commute is starting up with some heavy traffic on the I-10 westbound from the mini stack out to 19th Avenue, and then again stop and go traffic on westbound 10 from the Loop 303 to Verrado Way. We have a new crash on eastbound 10 near 27th Avenue. This is going to be blocking up the right lane. I'm Wendy Swanson, Valley Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Ski Pro.
It's Ski Pro's February blowout sale. Save an additional 20% off our lowest mark prices. February 10th, 11th, and 12th only. The snow is here and the mountains are calling. Save at all Ski Pro locations. Ski Pro, the biggest selection in the state.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Tune in weekdays 1 to 4 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for your chance to call in and give your prediction for the big game. Guess the score right and win the Talking Stick Resort Getaway Weekend valued at over $1,500. That's weekdays 1 to 4 right here on Fox Sports 910.
Get ready for the nothing but net action of college basketball on AZTV Channel 7. Every Monday and Saturday, we take you courtside for both men's and women's college hoops. AZTV Channel 7. Check out the schedule at aztv.com.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Just happy to be here. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Jax, you just have 5, right?
Liberty. This is NFL quarterback Rodney Peete, and here's what's trending on the
5, right?
Sports Network.
Presented by AutoZone.
The Suns beat the Celtics.
You sent me
Boston
5
without
attachments.
Cameron Payne. He'll be reevaluated for his injury in a week. And Devin Booker, who's set to return early next week. College hoops tomorrow. ASU will host Oregon, and Arizona welcomes in Oregon State. Today, the NFL acknowledged that concussions were on the rise.
I just saw the ones that you sent me. The ones you sent me, but I just looked at it in order and I was like, oh, there's 5 here.
I'm Frank Arity.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing,
Jax,
free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
In case you missed this week of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, our fine rookie Jackson Groff has you covered.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Jack puts it all together, the best, the worst, and in his mind, the funniest moments from this week's shows. This is Jax's Rewind exclusively
Guys are hot.
Sports 910.
All right, good week of shows. I would say so, Rock. Nice end the week with a Doug Flutie interview. It's nice. Dave Tyree was great earlier in the week. my presence almost every day but one.
Yeah,
I only missed one this week.
Right. That's right, Rock.
So that's pretty big.
Everything okay at home? I mean, you're here with us. I mean, everything good?
Everything's great. Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah. Just trying to
Love having
get some
you.
credit for next week. You know.
Build that credit up.
Build that credit. All right, this is where we hand over the keys to Jax, and he does this little recap of the week.
Well, yeah, we had some lows this week. Obviously, technical issues. Well, technical issues yesterday was kind of a big low.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of high moments. This first one, we talked with Frank Sanders on Monday, and he's usually on the golf course. But this Monday, he was working, and we asked him, why are you still working? And he said that if he had this certain quarterback, that he wouldn't have to work again.
Just, if you would have practiced a little bit more, maybe a couple more touchdowns, you wouldn't have to work.
Look, if I had Manuch as my quarterback, then I don't think I'd have had a problem.
Thank you, Frank. It's about damn time. Thank you, Jack.
You think so? You think so?
Oh, you kidding me?
All right, so Manuch or Jake Plummer?
Manuch.
He had Jake Plummer.
No, he did, but I stay in the pocket. I'd be looking. I'm not.
You'd be looking for 81 or whatever number he was.
I'm looking around, and if in doubt, where's 81? If in doubt, where's 81? You kidding me? I stay in the pocket. Only one if I had to. See, that's one thing about Jake. We'll talk about this. Jake, he would take a hell of a quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But step up, look to throw before you run.
It's Jack's segment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I wasn't alive during that era. How dynamic was the Frank and Plummer?
It was pretty
connection.
Good.
Not really. He was number 2.
Okay, it should have been better because it was a young Jake Plummer. They were both very young. If you just hung in the pocket, came to him a little bit more, might have had maybe 10 more TDs. But with Manuch back there, let's go, Frank. Are you real? Let's go.
Exactly.
See, I look at, Frank was a superstar, right? I mean, he was
damn good, yeah.
But he also had a couple other guys on the team that weren't too
Rob
bad.
Moore.
Rob Moore was
there.
probably
Frank.
The big one, right?
And a couple other guys that were dudes on
this
that.
This is all way before, Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, Roy Green would probably be arguably the number 2 best Cardinal receiver.
Yeah, Roy was
Mel Gray. Anquan Bolden, he was before Anquan Bolden, right?
Well, Anquan came to see 96,
2003 was Bolden.
Yeah, he came a little bit later.
Anyway.
Well, the second clip here, usually, Rock takes some shots at Manuch, Jimmy B, myself throughout the week. And this certain guest that we had, the NFL Senior Director of Events, Nikki Ewell. I don't know if she did a research before or knew that Rock maybe needed some shots thrown back at him. But this is what she had to say on the show on Monday, and I thought it was hilarious.
She beat me up. In the past, I'm sorry, going back to my past. It's been a while since I've done it. It was in the late 90s, and I know a lot of things have changed. But
is that when they have leather helmets?
Yeah. Wow,
there's
Nikki.
a shot.
Wow, I've been doing this a long time.
I like her already.
Procedures and the schedule and the attractions and the waiver that you have to sign in order to run the 40-yard dash. You would probably take a couple of minutes to run it, but most people run it in about 5 or 6 seconds. So,
Nikki, I wasn't born that far down, down where you're from, New York. I was Philly. I'm from Philly, so I can hold my own.
Ouch.
She was a New Yorker. We brought her on to help promote the NFL experience stuff and opening day, media day, and all that, and she just destroyed me.
She must have sent something. Have you ever met her before? Or was that the first time?
That's the first time. Yeah.
Wow.
She's kind of like put that in your pipe and smoke. We're like, wow.
We're bringing you on to help promote your event, and you're ripping the host.
Leather helmet.
And because I've worked 6 Super Bowls, and I know exactly what she's selling us. So anyway.
When we see her, Jack,
I'm over it.
We'll see her
Monday. Yeah,
let's bring her back on.
Yeah, maybe do a 40-yard dash.
No, I'm gonna go do a hit somewhere else.
Well, the third one, I don't know what example of this of Jimmy B not listening or his inability to listen and follow instructions.
Jeez.
We do quick draw Manuch every Thursday, and he's supposed to say his name when he gets called on. Jimmy B didn't listen once again. Here's this clip.
Everybody has
Question number 1.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Name a healthy snack starting with the letter C.
Tiny Todd of the kilowatt.
You're out. You're out. You just lost that one.
You got to say your name.
How do you not know?
Tiny Todd of the kilowatt. Jimmy B. Manuch. Carrot. Manuch. Yeah. How did I lose that? You got to call your name. I did. I said my name. Tiny Todd of the kilowatt. Jimmy B. So. Did your girl laugh at your joke? No, because that was not funny. All right, let's start over.
I didn't know where he was going with that either. I thought it was like
I didn't know a tiny something. I thought that was the answer.
Tiny tot, the little kilowatt. Jimmy B. Well,
that makes no sense. I've never heard
how
that
about
before.
just Jimmy or Manuch? I mean, just he just
follow the instructions. We went over it like for 5 minutes.
We did.
Say your name.
Yes, we did.
Then you give the answer after I call on you.
He was trying to be cute.
Hey, he made a comeback. He beat you yesterday.
Yeah, I got to sign a protest with that. I said softball. He said soccer. Yeah.
What would you rather watch?
I'd rather because
what would you rather watch?
Softball. Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
World Cup soccer. Would you rather watch World Cup soccer or
the College
World Series softball?
Game 7 of the College World Series softball.
Oh,
so I would.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how we keep it in American sports. Softball versus
U.S. women's World Cup. Your daughter played soccer.
Yeah, that's true.
Boys and girls.
Yes. All right. Just like the officials this last weekend, I saw the fix was in for Manuch's.
By the way, can we turn the air conditioning off? I know it's like 70 today, but here at Right Toyota, it's freezing.
I know. It is actually kind of cold.
Jeez.
The last one we have is Manuch. You told us that Topps, the famous sports car company, they only cared about starters when you played. And no backups were able to have their own sports card. Here's this clip.
Players vote on who their top 5 are that are currently playing. Okay, well, there's the all-time, current. And I apologize, Manuch, she didn't.
I didn't make it.
You didn't get not even an honorable vote.
But Rock, if you scroll down, best holders of all time.
Yeah,
that's that one category.
Did you even have a football card as a holder?
Well, here's how it worked back in the day.
Is this going to be a long story?
No, it's not. Yeah, those first few years only, Topps only made football cards for starters. So me being a backup and a holder, I was not.
That sucks.
So when I came back for replacement game 87, they were making them for everybody, back in the day. So
why would they do that? Because a lot of guys, you may not start the season.
Yeah.
But then somebody gets hurt, and then you get in there.
I don't know. Topps was like that.
1 minute.
In fact, I've had a couple guys send me, cards over the years from like 81 through. But the first few years, no, it's only for starters only. So
I looked up online. I looked up Dan Manucci signed card. I couldn't find an NFL one, but I saw a USFL custom that was sold a couple days ago for $15.
$14.99.
I like it.
It went to Wigsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as Topps, I've had people send me Buffalo Bill cards, but you're
not in them?
I'm not Topps, no. I never got the piece of gum either, Rock, with that. So
there's a signed Bills one for $18.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
With me over the center against Philadelphia.
Pre-owned. Yeah.
Yeah. Was playing your Eagles in that preseason game.
Is this your signature right here?
That's my signature right there.
Wow. Maybe I should place a bid.
There you go. Help my trust fund because I have none right now, okay? I didn't get the opportunity. I didn't have any NIL in college. You kidding me? I had a 4-door Ford Maverick tank. Drive 1970, 4-door Ford Maverick, no power brakes, no power steering, barely AC, barely heating.
That sounds like a good card.
Yeah, great car.
Well, that's the rewind.
There you go. Nice job. Hey,
Jack.
if you're in need for a new patio grill set for your backyard, your chance to win one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS to 55678. It's brought to you by Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter daily. Standard message and data rates apply, and we will pull that name the week after the Super Bowl. So still got time to get in, and be kind of cool. Looking forward to the person that wins that, and see if they'll invite us over for a barbecue after it goes in. That'd be kind of neat.
I'll bring the box wine and ribs.
Of course you will.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Coming up, Sean Salisbury. Yes, Sean Salisbury will get his take on what's going on in Houston as they got their guy Ryans. And I was kind of curious. So, he's a big fan favorite there, but this is their third head coach in 3 years.
Ownership matters.
So I wonder if that fan base is saying, okay, this is going to work this time. Three's a charm.
He's the prodigal son coming back to Houston, Rock.
Oh, all right, that's next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The NBA trade deadline is now less than a week away, and the Brooklyn Nets are having issues with Kyrie Irving again. The guard reportedly informing the team that he wants to be traded. The Suns will battle the Celtics in Boston today. Devin Booker is with the team, and he's perhaps shooting for a return from his groin injury early next week. Cam Johnson is out for right knee injury management, and word is Cam Payne's foot will be reevaluated for a third time next week. Former Mercury guard Kia Nurse signed with the Seattle Storm. She tore the ACL in her leg in 2021. She had not played for the Mercury since then. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
For your Friday night, look for decreasing clouds, those temperatures dipping into those upper 40s. And then for your Saturday, things are looking fantastic. Temperatures well above those seasonal averages, getting up to 76 degrees with plenty of sun. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing is committed to quality and printing perfect every time. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more. Offer ends 2/25. See staples.com/store/printpick for details. Try Staples and see the difference.
Attention grillers. Is it time to replace that old grill in your backyard? Need to step up your game? Your chance to win a new one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS 55678. And you will be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter once a day. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 55678.
We just can't seem to catch a break, huh? So many rough fire seasons. But we made it through, and now there's another risk. All that charred soil and burnt vegetation can lead to floods and mud flow. I know, but you've got this too. And one way to get this is to get this flood insurance. There's no rest for the West, but with flood insurance, you can rest assured that you're ready for whatever else nature throws at you. Protect the life you've built at floodsmart.gov/wildfires.
In a world full of rewards programs, there's never been one quite as fantastic as MGM Rewards. As an MGM Rewards member, dine, stay, play, and earn on what you love. Have the meal of a lifetime. Cheer on your favorite team. See a show that blows your mind. Stay in a baller suite. Shop
make
till
up
you
one.
drop.
How would they know?
To spa your second home. Or just find a nice loud corner for some bottle service. With MGM Rewards, unlock the best of Las Vegas. Visit mgmrewards.com for more details. Subject to earning redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
A former NFL QB turned radio host, Sean Salisbury goes unfiltered with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
And here we get to have the opportunity to play a great team in the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and it should be really something. I mean, that's should be a great venue, and two good football teams playing each other. You don't get to this point unless you're a good team. So proud of our guys, proud of the organization for the job that everybody did, and.
That's Andy Reid talking about his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, as they get ready for Super Bowl 57. As we'll be really busy next week. Start Radio Row on Monday, each day 1 to 4. So tune in all week. Some great guests. A reminder: we got Doug Flutie coming to join. Is going to join us here in about an hour and a half, as well as Bryce Perkins, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. But joining us now, it's Quarterback Friday.
Damn right.
Sean Salisbury joins us now on the Right Side guest line. How are we doing, Sean?
Damn Skippy, huh, Sean?
I'm good, gentlemen. What's happening? What's up?
So you guys in Houston, third coach in 3 years. Something I always have fun with here with the Cardinals is same old Cardinals. You know, it's just no one can figure them out. And I'm wondering for the base, the fan base there, what is different this time around with Ryans as the head coach?
Well, this fan base here wanted him more than they wanted Sean Payton. And Payton obviously is a Super Bowl winner. He's as D'Amico, and it's well documented, a former player here, but the boxes he checks are not like, well, it's temporary box, they're permanent. This guy is checks off the boxes of one wherever he's been, whether it's an assistant or now a head coach. As a player, as a teammate, he is he makes everybody around him better. And that to me is one of the top traits you got to have. And I'm not just talking about the players on the field. Coaches, They'll live up to a standard. There will be accountability that I don't think there's been much of it here for a while. And Bill O'Brien was a good X's and O's guy, but Bill O'Brien got way too power hungry that got in the way and skewed him being the coach that they brought here in the first place. And he's a phenomenal leader. And I believe leadership, you can improve it by reading books and I know I do all the time trying to say, can I find one extra caveat in the book that I'm reading about leadership? But when you walk into a room, it's DNA, man. You either got it and the room engages with you and you're magnetic or you're not without having to try and force it. And that's him. And the difference is David Culley had never been interviewed for a head coaching job. He's a lifetime assistant and a good man, but a lifetime assistant, and was in over his head on Sunday as a head coach. Lovie Smith's defense was archaic. They didn't get better. And both of these guys, you knew, and I like Lovie too, had great success, but you knew going in that neither one they'd have been lucky and they would have crawled 10 miles over broken glass to get to 3 years. And when you don't improve, you've got to change things. This is different because this guy's better than both of them. He commands respect and leader. And you can command respect. Age doesn't bother me. I don't care if you're 25 or 70, but you've got to be able to make people better, the coordinators, the coaches. This was stale last year, as much as I like Lovie. You had to get rid of both after 1 year. Doesn't matter what the roster looks like. The roster needed to get better when they say, well, you got to give him 2 or 3 years. You give a guy 2 or 3 years that you know will turn it around, not one that you pretty sure isn't going to turn it around, and the decisions they made. This guy will hire good coaches, hold him accountable. He's done everything you need to do, X's and O's, Y as an assistant. Now, there's no guarantee, obviously. But if there's an assistant coach that is close to a guarantee of at least giving you a legitimate chance to get better and win, this guy's it. And this city is more excited than they've been at any time since I've lived here, I'm talking about football-wise, other than when Watson came off the bench in the first half of the second half of the first game. Since then, and I'm not even sure there was as much enthusiasm for him as there is for this guy. This city loves him.
Sean, when you look at the coaching hires, and I just and you talk about fits. So D'Amico Ryans fits Houston. You look at Carolina, Frank Reich, he fits. Denver, Sean Payton, he fits. Now you got the Cardinals and Colts, and all the minutia that surrounds the Cardinals, and all the minutia that surrounds the Colts. Look at Kyler Murray. Colts really don't even have a quarterback per se. What kind of coach you feel is going to fit? Or will they try to put a square peg in a round hole to try to make that happen?
Yeah, you know what, Manuch, you mentioned minutia that surrounds the team and all the red tape and nonsense.
Yes.
We dealt with that here, and I know Arizona has too. But we've dealt with that here. So you know how you fix it? You get rid of the fat. And as Chuck Knox, as you know, Chuck and I, Chuck had a saying, he called it GIGO, G-I-G-O, garbage in, garbage out. Then when you constantly suck in garbage and take in garbage, whether it's on the field or in the locker room or wherever, the only thing you can spit out is garbage. And so we've been through it. The way you stop it is you start to eliminate that. And then you get a head coach that's not going to tolerate garbage. And I'm not talking about garbage players. Everybody's a good player, some better than others. Just the garbage, the toxicity, the guy who doesn't, when everybody else wears a white shirt, he wears a blue one. The guy who just, it sucks the life and the energy out of the building. So that's how you get rid of it. And unfortunately, in Arizona, while he's a talented guy, the guy who sucked the life out of the building so far the last couple of years in Arizona has been Kyler Murray. And if your highest paid, supposed best player, or at least that's what they anticipated, is sucking the life and energy out of the building, then you better bring in a guy who says enough's enough, and you better hire a guy for the general manager and the ownership that says, you get to make these decisions. Now, with this contract, you're going to say, well, and with the way the obviously talk about his preparation, the fact that we're still having this conversation is alarming to me with a $200 million quarterback. If he doesn't prepare, he's never going to dominate or sustain success. He'll make plays once in a while because he's a hell of a talent, but the coach who comes in, he can't be an ass kisser to the quarterback. He has got to go the opposite. He has got to challenge him, and he's got to make him better, which Sean Payton will do to Russ Wilson. But they're different. Russ had a bad year, but Russ is still a pro. Kyler Murray has yet to prove that he's a pro, and when former teammates talk like they talk and the organization has to put a clause in his contract and then take it out, it tells me that their best player, or the guy that's supposed to be, is on the food chain comes to leadership. He's not anywhere near the top. That's not a good thing. So I don't know who it's going to be, but if they hire a yes man, that they will set that franchise back 10 years.
He's Sean Salisbury here on Roc and Manuch with GBB Fox Sports 910. All right, Sean, I know we still have a week to go, but we want to give you an opportunity to get in before everybody else. We're doing it's called the Talking Stick Resort Big Game Challenge. You give us the score. You give us the score in the winner, and if you win, you get a 2-night stay at Talking Stick Resort. You get dinner for 2 at Orange Sky, dinner for 2 at Tosh, and a spa certificate for you and your whoever. And it's over probably $2,000 in value. I know you love coming out here. I think you wouldn't mind staying at Talking Stick Resort for the weekend. So, that being said, with that being said, what do you got for the game? Winner and score.
I actually think the most complete team in the league all year long has been Philadelphia. But I'm an Andy Reid fanatic. I love the way the coaching staff. I think the two advantages come down to this. Even though Shane Steichen and Sirianni and Jonathan, their coaching staff Gannon has done a phenomenal job. Offensively, I think Andy Reid's the best play caller in the sport. I'm going with the Chiefs. I think it is a 30-20. I got to pick the exact score. Let's go 30-24 Chiefs. Okay. And Reid and Mahomes are the difference. And keep an eye on a sneaky one, and that's Pacheco, the running back. Physical. This team likes to tee off on the quarterback. You may get some gashing runs because they're so concerned about Mahomes. Mahomes will win the MVP if they win. And I still don't know how you have an answer for Kelsey. Nobody has, and he can offset a pass rush or get the ball out. Andy Reid, Chiefs, 30-24.
Okay.
Sean, let me take you back a few years. The 1969 Super Bowl, guy named Joe Willie Namath against the vaunted Baltimore Colts. That spread was 16, but it's kind of, here comes the Eagles. They're healthy. They're dominant. Here's the banged up Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of folks aren't giving me a chance, but they had a guy named Joe Willie Namath in New York, and the Chiefs got a name of Patrick Mahomes. Any similarities there whatsoever as I jog your memory?
One thing.
No.
Well, Joe could talk it a little bit better. Patrick's not the one who's going to come out and guarantee this victory. That Joe, he guaranteed it, had those guys buying in, and it was phenomenal. And I love Broadway Joe all-timer. I did everything I did uniform-wise was Broadway Joe. I'll tell you the similarities when you watch him on tape. The ball comes up and out, and while Joe was extra special in the pocket, Mahomes goes from the pocket and extends those plays extra special, off schedule. The similarities on being able to throw it are awesome. The way they approach it's a little different, but both can be successful.
That's outstanding. Sean, have yourself a great weekend. I'm sure you got the cigar, you got the tequila all ready to watch some Pro Bowl action, huh?
You got the first part right, but I didn't watch the Pro Bowl when I covered it, so that's saying something.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, guys.
That's great. Sean Salisbury joining us here on the Right to a Guest line. He's driven by All City Towing as they continue to hire. Go to allcitytowing.com as they have immediate full-time positions available, incredible benefits, a 401k program with a generous company match, and the fastest way to apply is online. Allcitytowing.com, search careers. Hey, coming up, it's our Learner in Row 1 call. That's all. You'll hear from Doug Flutie we had earlier in the show. That's all coming up next as we finish up at Wright Toyota. This is Fox Sports 910.
Oh, here we go. Steve Covino. Ooh. Rich Davis.
Yes.
This is Covino and Rich.
Even when you go to a bar with the intention of, I'm getting together with my buds and we're going to watch at the bar, it sounds like the most sports fan, manly, right way to watch the game. But I'm here to tell you, I think when you're at the bar watching the game, it's the least attentive you are watching a game. Completely agree.
Covino and Rich this afternoon at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Rock.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I-10 westbound from Loop 202 Mini Stack to 7th Street. That's running stop and go. 10 westbound near 24th Street. We have a vehicle fire off right. We also have an accident off right. Loop 101 northbound near Shea Boulevard in Scottsdale. And a crash, Thomas Road at 75th Avenue.
This report is sponsored by University of Arizona Eller College of Management. The University of Arizona's Eller College of Management, offering top-ranked graduate degrees in marketing, finance, business analytics, and MBA. Elevate your career online or on campus. More at ellercollege.com.
It's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We love providing great food for family gatherings, parties, even work meetings. And we make it simple.
We sure do, no matter what the occasion. At Venezia's, we make catering easy. You can see our entire catering menu online at venezias.com. Or let us know how we can help at one of our 6 locations, including the newest, now open in Chandler.
We'd love to bring Venezia's to your next party. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Bo knows where to watch the big game. Talking Stick Resort. Join Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they host the big game viewing party with special guests Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Get your tickets now, just $25 at Ticketmaster.com. It's the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every.
How come all you guys seem like you're in a bad mood today? How come I'm the only one in a good mood?
Cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash
Yeah, some of us still have to work tomorrow.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song.
Not all of us were given God-given talents, Manuch.
What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help
Doing your lawn is not a job.
home insurance, we personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more
rich people. You hear this guy, Jackson?
In the band everyone forgot about.
Rock gets a bunch of Mexicans like me to do it.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. It's the Learner and Row. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Learner and Row, voted Arizona's best law firm.
It was cool for me to actually do something to make guys on the team smile about something. Like I sat the bench and had the pom-poms out cheering for Brady all year long. Like, just go with me. Come on, Tom. Win me a ring. Come on. So when I had a chance to do something like that, it was really cool. And I ran off. It was so funny. There's a whole story that goes with the drop kick and all that. But as I'm jogging over to the sideline, I'm going to Belichick for a hug, right? I just going to Bill to say thank you. And I go to give him a real kind of awkward hug, but he's got the big smile. And, Bill's not a touchy-feely kind of guy, right? So it was cool. So Bill's got the big smile. Well, I see my daughter after the game, my wife and daughter in the concourse, and she's like, "You blew off Tom Brady on national TV." I'm like, "What?" I went.
You guys are hot.
Bill and Tom came out for a high five, and I just blew right by him on TV.
It's Doug Flutie earlier on our show today. If you want to hear that entire interview, it's up on the iHeartRadio app, FoxSports910.com, and you can also get it at RocandManuch.com. You can find it there. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all, 602-977-1900. And speaking of Doug Flutie, him along with Bo Jackson and some others are going to join us for our big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort next Sunday. We hope that you can join us. You can get tickets right now at Ticketmaster at $25, $35 at the door. I do recommend, if you are making plans to join us, definitely get tickets in advance, as we're putting out everything, red carpet treatment for everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got, I believe, the GCU band is going to be there.
Wow.
We have the Arizona Rattler cheerleaders.
Oh, my goodness.
We got a bunch of models for Jacks that are going to be there working.
I guess I got to stop by real quick, make a little appearance.
Have to say hi, yeah, as we'll all the information is up on our website at Roc and Manuch. But again, cash for watching the game. How cool is that? As $25 squares, $100 props, the kickoff jackpot, which is at $4,000. And if it doesn't hit, that thing we add to it, it's a progressive jackpot after every kickoff. So basically, how it works is we pull out a name, they run it back to say the 40-yard line. We're going to give you $40 cash. If they run it back for a touchdown, and the conversion is good, we're going to give you that jackpot, which will continue to grow after every single kickoff. So, hope you can join us. RocandManuch.com. You can get everything you need there. Here's what's on tap tonight. You have the Suns and Celtics. That'll tip off at 5:30 on Bally Sports and NBA TV. Celtics are 37-15. They're in first place in the East. Suns are currently 8th in the West. They could definitely use this W after getting blown out by tomorrow. Trying to get your schedule going. Suns and Pistons in Detroit. That'll be on at 5 o'clock. Oregon State at Arizona down in McHale. That's on the Pac-12 network. It's a 7:30 tip. Oregon and Arizona State in Tempe. ESPN2 on that one. 8 o'clock. It's good to see Arizona State win yesterday against Oregon State, and then Arizona beat Oregon last night. The College Football Senior Bowl with no head coach for the Arizona Cardinals there. NFL Network 12:30 tomorrow. So if you need to get your fix, your football fix, you got it there. NHL All-Star Game 1 o'clock on ABC 15. And then Sunday, Manuch, U.S. Open Finals bowling, noon on Fox.
Can't wait.
Can't watch any football. You got to do some bowling. And then the Pro Bowl at 1 o'clock on ESPN.
All right, folks, our State 48 Roofing. It's your call. Question of the day. Who is the greatest quarterback to only win one Super Bowl? You can still go to @RocandManuch on Twitter. Was it one Joe Willie Namath? Was it Johnny Unitas, Johnny U, Kenny Stabler, the late great Kenny Stabler, as well as the late great Johnny Unitas? Or was it one Brett Favre, the leader in the clubhouse so far? Brett Favre at 40%, Johnny U at 30%, Kenny Stabler at 20%, and one Joe Willie Namath at 10%. So still go to @RocandManuch on Twitter.
So there you have it. Today it was all quarterbacks, right?
As it should be.
Bryce Perkins, Doug Flutie. You had 3 hours of Manuch. You just had Sean Salisbury. It doesn't get any better than that when the quarterbacks.
Isn't that
right,
good,
Manuch?
Jax? You got your QB in the room. You're good to go, right?
Oh, yeah. You'd love to hear from the quarterbacks. Receiver's best friend.
Exactly right.
Definitely.
And what did Frank Sanders said? He'd still be playing in the league if he had who at quarterback?
I guess you,
There you go.
I'd actually pay to see that. That'd be a cool combination. Old, new school. That'd be good.
I just say go deep as far as you can. Do that little dig route, the comebacks. Keep it, and then bait that cornerback, little pump and go. Frank over the top.
Hey, a story that is starting to get some momentum, and it kind of started off our show at 1 o'clock, and that was Kyrie Irving, who has issued a trade request from the Brooklyn Nets.
3 minutes.
The Suns have the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday. He's going to become a free agent this summer, but he wants out now before Thursday's NBA trade deadline. And the three teams that are expected to maybe explore the opportunity to sign him are the Lakers, Mavs, and Phoenix Suns.
Well, maybe they just trade locker rooms on Tuesday, Rock. Just have him come over to the Suns and whomever go to the Nets.
DeAndre stays there.
DeAndre stays there. Hey, DeAndre, you may want to pack a few extra clothes.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like he's awesome. Kyrie
phenomenal.
is freaking awesome.
Just a pain in the ass.
I mean, he's his final year of a $37 million contract.
Right.
So he's going to be a free agent. What's he going to make that, But if he's traded, he's eligible to sign a 2-year, $78.6 million extension to the team.
Right.
Until June 30th. So that's kind of interesting.
2 minutes.
I can't stand him.
Damn near 40 a year.
Dude, see how ambitious this new owner is.
Well, we saw him in town a couple weeks ago, last time they heard the Nets. And though the Suns blew him out, I just watched him. And the guy he's still a dude.
He's awesome.
He's phenomenal.
I just worry if he comes here, he's going to want to leave again because he's going to be a free agent.
Okay, but we can make the case, or somebody can make the case that this window's closing for the Suns.
Well, and
right? CP3 is almost gone.
Yes. He could be the heir apparent. If they don't get a Van Vliet, eventually could be an heir apparent for CP3. You got him.
You get him. This team's right there.
Oh, my gosh.
That'll spark a lot of interest around the Valley.
Well,
big time, and I think it would be kind of cool.
I think that they at that point, they have three scorers.
1 minute.
Irving, Devin, and then you got Bridges. And then Cam Johnson, if we get him back on track, then you got outside shooting. You need another shooter, absolutely. If you're going to compete for the win at all, if they do. But who replaces if Ayton does move on by next Thursday? Who replaces that? Who covers that? Landale? Does he do? B squared? Bismack Biyombo? Does he have enough to cover? Are they getting enough? Sarge moving him at 4 into 5. I mean, there's a lot of things they can do to rotate these guys in. Otherwise, hey, but if you go get them, hell, you tolerate them.
Everybody have a great weekend. We're excited next week. We'll be coming to you live from Radio Row from 1 to 4 Monday through Friday. Hope you'll tune in. Big time guests across the board. It's a treat, an absolute treat to be part of Radio Row, and we hope that you'll join us. Till then, have a great weekend. For Rock, that's me. For Manuch, for Jax, for Ben,